What is good, Jack? Welcome to the show. I know I was extra loud. Hold up. Let's turn it down a little bit. How we doing today? Are you as pumped as I am? Because I'm pumped. I am very pumped today. So please, if you are going to be as pumped as I am to react to some cringe news in these YouTube streets here, go ahead and hit the like button, please, okay? Because the like is free, so is the show. But we'd like to get into some I told you so's, because that's what the year 2023 has been for us thus far. Now, those of you who've been a long time subscribers of the channels, first things first, shout out to you. And second thing second, a special shout out to all of our channel members out there. Without y'all, this channel, man, we wouldn't even be where we are right now. So shout out to you, because y'all helped us out. But y'all remember a while ago, maybe 2022, right, when we were getting the dog shit smeared all over our reputation because everyone was saying we were nothing but haters and clout chasers and whatever the fuck they want to call us nowadays, right? Do you remember when I told y'all, I said, yo, guys, bear with me, okay? Bear with me, all right? Because we're not wrong. We're going to be right. And 2023 will be our year of vindication. You mark my words. And a lot of y'all stuck with us. And now every single prediction we've made last year has been coming to pass. Okay? Like we're rolling in all aces. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people are finally coming to their senses, right? Because it's very interesting how a lot of y'all, same y'all who be in my comment section calling me a hater, all of a sudden doing an about face and saying, yeah, Duke, you were kind of right. You were kind of right on this one. It's okay. Listen, I don't hold grudges. I just like to say my I told you so's when it's prescribed, okay? And there's no bigger I told you so than the stories that we're going to cover today, okay? We're going to cover two stories. One thing's first is going to be Sneako, okay? Sneako, I already told y'all about him. He's a snake, all right? And now he is beefing with Destiny. That's not one of my predictions, by the way. The one we're going to be covering is King Riches. I got to go into a, like, what do you call it? A side quest real quick, because we got to talk about King Riches of the Just Pearly Things Network, okay? Or formerly known as a former member of the Just Pearly Network, because he has recently been dropped, or he dropped himself recently, but not as recent because it happened last month. Either way, he is no longer a member of the Just Pearly Things Network. We got to cover that first things first, because that's some crazy shit going on in the YouTube streets right now. And what did I tell y'all? Huh? Chat? What did I tell y'all? I told you there will come a time where King Riches himself, all right, where King Riches himself will leave or will be dropped by the Just Pearly Things Network. And when that happens, he will be looked as such a massive fool because he defended this woman through all the racist bullshit. This dude put his career on the line because he thought he was gonna ride high with Miss Pearly. And what did he do while he thought he was on his up and up, right? He shitted down on all of us. Every single one of us, we independent content creators, all right, we reaction channels, all right, he shitted on us, right? Because we were saying, hey, listen, bro, where's your pride at, dog? Well, that's all we're asking, dog. You're supposed to be a Nigerian, and here you working for somebody. Where's your pride at? That's all we were asking, right? And he shitted on us. He said he got better production quality. He says he got a better team. He says he's got better editing. He looked at everyone else as struggle streamers, struggle reaction channels, right? And one of the main criticism he would use while he was riding high with Miss Pearly was, oh, look at these struggle streamers, yeah? You guys want to be like us, but we're making so much money, yeah? We're making so much money, you get me, yeah? Huh? Yeah, you guys are just haters. You come in here and you want to hate on us, you get me? Okay, Pearl, I already told you she's not a racist, okay? I'm over here making money because you guys are hating, you get me, yeah? Okay, so he was right on there just clowning us, and I said, yo, chat, there'll come a day where he's not going to be getting that kind of Pearly income no more, and he's going to go back to being King Broke, okay? King Brokes, okay? Because that's what you've always been, my nigga. But I have to play that video, and then we'll get into the other reaction. And the prediction I actually made about Sneako is that he is a snake. I don't trust him. Neither should y'all. All right? And that's going to be a crazy-ass episode because there's a massive split between him and Destiny right now. And I know some of you guys may have caught that because some of you guys are following the drama right now, but the vast majority of you guys probably don't know. Yes, they're actually beefing, and it's a serious beef between Sneako and Destiny right now, all right? Because Sneako, obviously, in his quest to become the ultimate red pill, I don't know if he wants to be a master student or whatever fuck he's training for in these red pill streets, but it seems like Sneako, his journey arc, all right, is all over the goddamn place. We don't even know where. First of all, he started where he was like, obviously he was sensible when he was younger, all right, and you go to his channel, some of his older stuff, right, he's had some profound knowledge, very, very good insight, so you can really tell this guy, he's young, but he's thinking, right? And then his full villain arc went to the point where he found Andrew Tate, all right, found the red pill. Initially, he criticized it, tried to go against the grain, but all of a sudden, he got succumbed to the allure of the lifestyle of the red pill content creators because it's a flashy lifestyle. You got the debaucherous nature of the women you're dealing with, which are primarily, the opposite of the good girls these guys claim to want, right? The OnlyFans, the porn stars, all these type of loose women that they claim is bad for society, but somehow magically end up with, which makes no sense to me. But Sneako then, eventually joined forces with the red pill, and then the arc goes all the way up until he finds Andrew Tate, goes crazy, all right, gets shut down by YouTube, and then almost seemed as though he was going through a redemption journey, right? A redemption journey after his villain arc, all right? Because a villain arc crashed when he lost over $100,000 of YouTube ads, and then all of a sudden he's finding himself in a space where now no one knows what the fuck is going on, right? So YouTube got his money, it's gone. Andrew Tate, and he seems like he started to soften up a little bit. And then, as part of his little redemption piece, all right, it seemed like he actually went after the whole red pill, which was surprising to everybody. All right, we were all shocked, like, damn, he's going after Rolo, he's going after all these guys on Fresh and Fist channel. That's insane. Like, Myron should have never stood for that because Myron supposed to be this loyal wolf dude. All right, he's not supposed to let someone like Sneako go at his daddy Rolo Tomasi like that, but he let it happen, and that almost literally ran the risk of destroying the entire red pill, right? So then all of a sudden, it got to the point that you got the Sneako Zerka situation, and to be fair, that was happening while he was dealing with Andrew Tate, but not to the extent that it's happening now. I mean, you see Sneako and Zerka. I mean, Zerka is really proving to be the worst influence when he's hanging out with anybody, all right? And you can see some of that rub off on Sneako. And that's one thing you're going to realize about Sneako. He's a very impressionable character. And I say character very, very precisely because that's all I believe Sneako is, a fucking character, bro. So that's essentially, that's the situation he found himself in, Zerka being a horrible influence. And now is to the point where Sneako has reverted back to whatever dog pill mentality he came from, all right? And it's actually getting bad to the point where he's alienating a lot of people that really otherwise, as fun as it would be to debate with them and go back and forth, wouldn't put up with some of the bullshit that he's doing, right? And some of the bullshit means that backhanded nastiness that Sneako is known for. Y'all remember the situation with Brandon Buckingham where he lied and basically did a Me Too, like a false Me Too, using his girlfriend against Brandon Buckingham, saying that, oh yeah, he tried to R-word my girlfriend. He said that. But did he really? No, he actually never said that, right? And Brandon threatened to sue, and he only said, I will drop the lawsuit, Sneako, if you challenge me to a boxing match or you take the offer and we go fight, all right? Sneako never responded. Go figure, right? But still, now I know I'm paraphrasing some of Sneako because he's beefed with a lot of people, not to mention with the notable one with Charlie, which almost destroyed his entire career, whatever was left of it on Rumble. Anyways, so that's a situation we're dealing with, right? And then you have Destiny in the mix, who has good back and forth with Sneako. And it seems like when they seem to have gotten along over the time, but all of a sudden, when I feel as though the influence of Zerka is starting to work its magic on Sneako, okay? His daddy's under house arrest, can't really see him as freely in Romania as he wants to, so Sneako needs a new red pill daddy to follow, all right? Because this guy, he's a character. He needs someone to, breathe life into him, right? So Zerka is the one that gives the real battery under his back. You can kind of see that, right? And what's happening now is with that influence, Sneako is kind of turning on Destiny a little bit, and it's getting kind of nasty. Now all of a sudden they're getting Destiny's kids involved in it. Sneako's going in and trying to use that as some reason why Destiny is, represents the evils of the world because the blue pill people or whatever the fuck. And it's like, it's very interesting to see what's going on and why that whole beef started. And it's something that you got to tell you how you can easily lose your way and lose people who are really who could really actually support you along the way when you think you're on some kind of ideology that's your one and only truth, right? And watching Sneako and his little downfall journey here, and along with Zerka. I mean, Zerka, congratulations, you're almost at 100,000 subscribers. So I would give him that round of applause. It's just that he hasn't done it creating any original content. He just reposts shit from other people's podcasts. So I will give you a longer round of applause, Zerka, if you got all of that by developing actual content on your channel rather than just, reposting the shit that you did with Sneako. So it's just weird. But I say it's interesting seeing how when people get these red pill ideas, how they start to, go down the drain. And I told you guys all the time, those red pill ideologies, man, it really starts rotting in your mind the longer you stay into it, right? That's why part of me don't respect a lot of these incels that are joining up with these dudes, because you can't be complaining about women and then turn around and be paying for the OnlyFans account of the exact same women you're complaining about. You're ridiculous. If you don't see how nonsensical and ridiculous your arguments are compared to your actions, you're ridiculous. So the red pill over time starts to rot your mind and rid you of accountability, and it's just insane what it's done to Sneako and some of these other guys. So, guys, we're gonna react to all of that and more. Dev, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. He says, "All hail King Pittance." Facts. King Pittance. Yeah, that's King Pittance. Shout out to you. Francois Goro with the $5 super chat. He says, "Sneak Cook is literally lost." Yeah. And this dude had the balls to comment on fucking Adam 22's relationship. It's like, bruh, you watched your girl get done in by another dude. You guys are both in the same book, if you ask me. But let's get to the first side quest story, which is King Broke, King Pittance. Let's see what he has to say regarding his split from Pearl. Hilarious split from Pearl, in which I told you guys so, but I don't want to keep saying I told you one, but I like saying I told you so. So let's get to it.
Cheers. Hey, listen, I've got some news that I'm sure a lot of you will find interesting. I have left the Just Pearly Things network, the JPT network. I'm no longer a part of that network. I left a month ago, right? So you're watching this right now, getting this news now, but I actually left a month ago. Now, a lot of you are going to be asking, King Riches, why did you leave JPT? What happened? Just Pearly Things direction is not the same direction that I want to go in.
What happened to all this shit you were talking about? You was making money now. Your channel's moving in a new direction. You was talking all that shit especially when she disrespected people that look just like you, bro. Not only that, the racist she brought on to disrespect people that look like you, that racist literally disrespected you directly by indirectly going at your girl on her show. All right? He told your girlfriend that Italians won't feel proud of her because she is dating a black guy like you. And you sat up there and caped for your mama Pearl, talking about you don't see color, Pearl's not racist, all this shit. Now, all of a sudden, her direction is not the direction you want to go in? Oh, so you stuck with her through the racist times. But all of a sudden, now she coming to America, it's not the same direction? What happened? What happened? All that shit you were talking, King Broke. What happened, dog? Let's continue.
Doubled my subscriber base, a lot more views, like millions of views every month. I've made a lot more money, right? But it comes to a point where it works best.
Hold up. Did this fool just say he's right. He did double his sub count. But did this fool literally just say that he's getting millions of views? Can I pull this up real quick? Let's pull up your channel real quick, my nigga. You got 75,000 subscribers, okay? What is this? What is this? It takes you 3 days to do 1,000 views. What is this? You want to talk about you getting millions of views? You weren't even eating while you were signed to that slave deal with Pearl. What is this? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. 11 days. 11 days. My boy, you doing, oh my God. You're not even doing varsity numbers, my dude. Not even for your channel. You're doing junior varsity right now. These some JV numbers. All right? So you see it bragging, you getting millions of views. That's because you I don't even know how that's even possible. Look at this. Chat, look at this. Are y'all seeing this? Let me go to your live so I make sure I'm not tripping. What is this? You supposed to be killing these views, bruh. All that shit you were talking. Don't let me scroll. Don't let me scroll. What is this? Fact of the matter is, bruh, now you ain't got that studio no more. You ain't got that studio. You really don't have much of anything now. You're back to the same old camera with the same old background, huh? Now you just like us, the self-made niggas, right? But you were talking all that shit. What is this? Huh? I told you, you riding high covering for a racist, it's not going to do well for you in the long term. You bet on the wrong horse. In this case, this was Pearly. I told you. I'm talking about my channel has doubled and I'm getting millions of views. Bruh, you're doing JV numbers. I'm sorry. You're doing junior varsity numbers. These ain't even, bruh, you're not even up to, bruh, you can't be doing the same numbers as me. And I got way less subs than you, dog. You can't be doing that. All right, these are junior varsity numbers, okay? And you're basically saying out of all them handouts that white woman gave you, you still in the same league as us. What now? Oh, I'm a gloat, chat. I'm sorry, I have to gloat. Because she used and dumped all of y'all. While y'all thought y'all had a cash cow with Pearly things, you had no idea that she was just using all of you. And this is the problem with black folks. We don't understand this yet. I hope this is a lesson for the UK brothers over there. All right, you UK guys over there, pay attention. But this is what I'm talking about. Y'all are being used just as a shield to cover for the racist bullshit that she managed to get off with. And now she's doing all this stuff with conservatives. She left y'all dudes behind. All this dating stuff y'all were talking about, she gonna be the new face of conservative media, guaranteed. Now what? You already got what's his name? Oh boy, over talking about what are you gonna get here? about Jason Whitlock. I'm big husky boy over here. I want to know when you're gonna get here because you got a lot of opportunities. She got Jason Whitlock right now sucking on her toes. All right. She's being groomed for conservative media, leaving y'all bozos in the dust. I told you, the wildlife guy, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Since Sneako likes picking on small people like Charlie, I'm 5'9", 145. I would love the bare knuckle boxing with him. P.S. I'm an MMA fighter. Yeah, he's not gonna fight you, bro. So I'm gonna be real, bro. He not gonna fight you. You gotta be like, you have to literally look like you can lose a fight to a pencil, bro. If you look like you can lose a fight to a pencil, then you know Sneako might get, he might take up the offer. But if you already doing MFA or not MFA, MMA, right, and you got like a tell, because a lot of fighters, they have a tell, right? Whether it's a physical tell or you can see like a mental tell, right? And some physical tell could be their stance or like even their ears. They get these little puffy ears. What is it, cauliflower or some shit like that? They get these cauliflower ears. So if you got any of those indicators, he's not going to fight you, bro. I'm sorry. He's too scary for that. Dev, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. He says, back in the day, if people had beef, they throw on the gloves and handle that issue. I'm not sure what's going on with the internet tough guy persona. Yeah, everybody's pretending to be tough, bro. But let's continue with this dude, and then we'll go on to the main story.
It's for me, my identity, my ideas about the world, that I just do my own thing. It's actually funny because a lot of people online was talking about me being in a slave contract, being on a plantation, you know, a Suge Knight contract, and I was stuck for 3 years and all of this nonsense. And I always told you guys that's not true. And look, the proof is in the pudding. I'm going my own way. I own everything on my channel. I've always been the owner of my channel, always been the owner of the content. And I'm leaving with everything I've accumulated. I always had this in the back of my mind that this was not going to be a forever type situation. And I always...
Nigga, it was only like 5 months. God damn, it was that quick. It was that quick. I mean, it wasn't that long since you were with her. I don't get it. And bro, no one, okay, yeah, the slave contract aspect of it was the percentage. Okay, the percentage split. We know your percentage was low. All right, so that's not that you purposely misrepresenting what the argument was about is crazy to me. And second of all, of course you can leave whatever you want whenever you want, and she basically you can keep 100% of the stuff on your channel, right? Yeah, she said that already. That's the same shit she did with Sarah Garvey. All right, but the only difference is when Sarah spoke out, then she started flagging the shit on his channel. All right. She's not stopping you from keeping 100% of your content. So using that as a flex, that we already knew that was a thing, okay? The problem is she owns 100% of the shit that you did on her platform. And while you were still contracted with her, you were getting pittance compared to what she was getting off of you. That's the slavery that we're talking about here. So you just try to make it seem like, hey, listen, I got out. And joke's on you guys that thought I was in a slave contract, because I was really a slave contract. See, I'm free, and I hold on 100% of the stuff on my channel. See, it's mine. Okay, I'm not paying her no more. Yeah, we know. She already explained that. Where were you during the Sarah beef? Huh? Where were you? Oh, that's right. You were too busy up Pearl's ass, asshole.
Always have the business savvy to know not to get locked down with anybody and have the right to leave and take everything I've built with me. And that's what I'm doing right now, right? It's very important that you don't understand that. A lot of people didn't think I would have enough brain power to put myself in a good situation, but I did. But I always had it in the back of my mind that this situation was not forever, and I was not stuck in a 3-year contract where, you know, I was being extorted. That's not true. And now, you know, within the first year, you know, it's time for me to move on and go in my own direction. I just want you lot to know that nothing will be changing on the channel. I'll still be doing the podcast show with the girls and all of that good stuff, as well as all the other content, more gym content, more personal content, you know, with the live streams talking and relating to the viewers and all that good stuff. So nothing's going to change, just a little bit of change of scenery. That is good.
A little bit of change of scenery. Hey, no more of that fancy studio you was bragging about, huh? All them fancy studios and editors. What happened? What happened? I told you this was going talking about you in a new direction. Nah, it wasn't a new direction, my nigga. She coming to America. And she gonna leave. I guess she couldn't bring all of her Africans with her, huh? I guess not, huh? All that shit she was talking with Nick Fuentes. I guess she couldn't bring all of her Africans over, and you didn't make the list to hop on that boat. Sorry. Now she coming over here to do conservative media. No more Manosphere shit. All right, it is what it is. She used the Kevin Samuels name, Andrew Tate name, and now she about to springboard over all of them. All of them. I have never seen anyone get a more easy ride through the Manosphere space than Pearl. Like, it's crazy to me that this is happening right now. Trending with shares. Shout out to with $5 super chat. He said, shout out to you, Dukendon, for being on LTTV stream yesterday. It was fantastic to get a chance to talk to you. Keep doing what you're doing. Shout out to you. I had a good opportunity to talk to you, LTTV. I mean, it was great. I love LTTV. He's a good guy. He's definitely the bros, man. E Black and all these other guys. Yeah, it was a great conversation. Sorry I had to bail out a little earlier, but yeah, I'm glad that we had that conversation. And whenever it's hard because I'm busy, but if LTTV, whenever he's streaming, I'll do my best to hop on. I'll be doing my best to hop on that dude stream, bro. But y'all check him out. But yeah, all that shit you were talking. Now we back to the change of scenery, huh? No more of them fancy lights in studios. Now you got to grind like the rest of us. You got to grind like the everyday man, all right? Because now your meal ticket is gone, all right? She packing up. She coming to the U.S. That apartment's going to get leased to somebody else, all right? Not you, because you're not talented. It is what it is. So, chat, I just have to say, the reason why I played this is because, first things first, I like my told you so's, okay? That's a given. I like my told you so's. Second, listen, a lot of this stuff that these red pillars are doing, it's all a gimmick for an online show. They're putting on an image, right? So that's what it is. When they come in and say, oh, I'm rich, or I got this money, or I got that connection, or I got these amount of women, it's a show. All right, they're the Matrix. They're trying to convince you to buy into their program, aka views, aka courses, whatever they got going on, you name it. All right, and it's important for y'all to understand not to fall victim to this shit. All right, you can look at us as clout chasing, hating ass channels, what we all day long. But who has been right about all of these Manosphere dudes thus far? And we have not been wrong. We have not been wrong. All right, guaranteed. Even the Andrew Tate situation, we've not been wrong about that. All these situations, fresh and fit, we've not been wrong about that. So it's like, it's crazy y'all calling us haters, but every shit that's happening to your leaders right now, we've been right about. So is it that we're haters, or we just have hindsight 2020 and we can see the bullshit for what it is? Maybe, just maybe, instead of you believing internet people saying that you're out of the Matrix and everybody else who doesn't believe in their ideology is in the Matrix, maybe you start listening to the other side of the fence, all right? The people who are telling you they're scammers, like us. We're letting you know a lot of these guys are scamming you. That's just what it is, all right? Most of them, they made their money. They wouldn't have been rich in the real world if they didn't have YouTube, if they didn't fake it till you make it. That's how a lot of these people did it. So we're just pointing it out, not trying to hate. We're just saying that their ideologies suck. So speaking of ideologies that are terrible, let's go ahead and get on with this Sneako versus Destiny beef, because this is the beef that I predicted, and this is a beef that I would say exposes Sneako as a definite snake. And not just Sneako, but everyone else that keeps Sneako around in this Manosphere space, they're all snakes. Okay, it is what it is. Because Sneako, I don't even know if he actually has an ideology of his own at this point without sucking it off of Zerka or Andrew Tate. Those are his two lords and masters right now. So let's go ahead and cover this beef, because realistically, I did think that Sneako did a low blow by going after Destiny's kid. I mean, come on, bro. Like, you're supposed to be a high value man. You're supposed to be Islam, right? I thought there was something about, leaving and protecting the family. Like, what's going on? He's going to go after children now? I mean, is that what Islam is all about? Like, I mean, obviously, I know that's not what Islam is all about, but I'm talking about the people who are accepting grifters like Sneako into their platform. So let's go ahead and react to this shit show that is the unraveling of Sneako and have some fun.
You abandoned your child to go play StarCraft in Miami. You left your kid back in Nebraska. Steve left his kid, and you talk about how red pillars are misogynist and have bad relationships. Where's your kid right now? Like, no, real talk. Like, I'm tired of you saying, like, oh, the smugness. The smugness.
He's saying this as Zerka is coming out of the bathroom, probably doing some coke, and then that's assuming his girl right there. Like, this guy is ridiculous.
Being of thinking that you're morally better than us, that we can't have a good relationship, but you're the one who's actually made a woman a single mom. You are the only one who's made a girl a single mom. Get the out of here, bro. Talking about smug. That's smug. To feel like you're better than anybody. Where's your kid? Nebraska rat. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting upset.
Nebraska, you called this kid a rat?
Bro, he's there saying like we're smug and all this stuff and saying.
So hold on. If someone says, hey, you're smug, you immediately call their child a rat.
No. He's a rat for leaving his kid, man. Someone needs to play catch with the sun. Chat. Type a 1 if you want an IRL stream where we're playing catch with Nebraska's son. My morality, my decisions, what I do. All they do is criticize my morality, my decisions, what I do. So it. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna constantly do that shit on me, say I'm not gonna be able to get married, say that I'm a fake Muslim, say that I'm drinking, say that I'm a liar, all this stuff. What the f is going on with your life? I called out Aiden today too. Like I could be drinking and gambling. I'm in the gym. I'm actually doing a self-improvement thing. I'm actually quitting things. I'm actually praying. Destiny, I'm actually working on becoming the best man I could possibly be.
Because does anyone actually believe this nigga prays? Especially 5 times a day. I don't believe this guy's prayed. Not once, dog. Probably maybe for show, but I don't think this guy is a dedicated Islamic prayer, bro. I think it's just like every criticism they're levying against Sneako, they're correct. You're grifting off of this shit. You don't have any thought process of your own, bro.
So I can raise a family, so I can get married. These things are extremely important to me. So if you're going to criticize that, what the f are you doing? What else is going on? Yeah, so there's
the issue with like, and I understand what. Hold on, I'm trying to treat him like this is an intellectual argument and not just like an emotional outburst. But it's just an emotional outburst. I think the reason why I'm so critical of Sneako is because he uses and abuses the people in his life, and then he does it in like haram ways because he just wants credit. So, for instance, Sneako wants to get all the credit from being Muslim. He wants to get all the social validation and all that from being pure and chaste and holy or whatever. Why does he still have girls on his stream? Why is he in the background with 2 girls laying on him making out? The answer is because he still desperately craves that validation that he gets from other men when women are validating him in the space, right? You don't need to do that. There's no point. If you really truly...
That is such an effective dress down of Sneako. It's not even funny because it's true. Like, why is someone who's claiming that they're Islam, all right, they're claiming they're going through this whole epiphany, this whole religious journey, and they want to be pure, and they want to teach other guys how to be pure, but yet they're consistently seen around Fresh and Fit with a bunch of women they will call debaucherous, right? He's doing debaucherous behaviors. He's doing coke and drugs with his buddy Zerka, and then they're going to the bathroom and snorting each other's cocaine's off their shit, right? So I just find it interesting that Sneako is willing to just sit there and tell everybody else that they're living their lives wrong, right? This guy comes out here and judges everybody, just like these other red pillars, but yet he's being seen around behaviors that would delegitimize his religious beliefs, right? You're saying that you're this new guy, but your actions don't prove it, right? And one can actually say the same thing for his original papa, Andrew Tate, right? Because Andrew Tate, he's also has this religious, flair that he's putting out there right now for the rest of the world, and he still lives his life in a debaucherous way. So it just doesn't make any sense how these guys can sit there and tell you what to do. Meanwhile, they're not living their lives the exact same way.
Truly believed about the Muslim shit, if you really truly believe about shit like that, why the f are you trying to show off women? That's not, is it halal? That's not holy. That's not chaste. That's not good, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's just like if somebody makes mistakes, like here's something so this is what I don't like. Here's what I don't give Sneako for. And I've heard these rumors a lot. And apparently Aiden repeats them. I hear a lot that Sneako gets caught slipping when he's out, when he's like drinking and shit. I don't know if that's true or not. But also like if he legitimately like makes a mistake and has a drink and he's off stream or some shit, you know what? Nobody's perfect. I wouldn't expect Sneako to be perfect. The issue I have is when he's desperately trying to collect social clout from both sides of an issue.
Nah. See, that's the no. I have an issue with him. If he's gonna sit there and come online and tell us how to live our lives, right, and say most men are blue-pilled weirdos or most men abuse alcohol or do drugs and all this stuff like that, and he's out here judging people, if he gets caught slipping, that needs to be called out. Oh, hands down, that needs to be called out. Absolutely, because you can't, you're lying. You're a liar at this point, bro. Like that cannot be tolerated under any circumstances. So that part needs to be called out. And I also agree with where Destiny's going, right? The duality of his thought process, where he sits there and tries to, criticize other people. But no. If you're out there, I don't care if it's one slip up. That's one slip up too many. I'm sorry. For the amount of shit you talking online, that is one slip up too many, bro. If you have one drink, you got to get called out. You got to. All right, I did the same thing with Lord Marquardt, where he was talking about I don't hang out around because hey, listen, I'm not saying that I'm perfect. All right, I used to do drugs, like heavy drugs back in the day. All right, so it's one of those things where Lord Marquardt used that to try to clown me, and then talking about I don't hang out with people that drink alcohol or I don't hang out with people that do drugs, and then come to find out his assistant got busted for drinking, not just drinking, the worst kind of drinking and driving, right? Her and her brother got both busted for DUIs. Lord Marquardt's mama was a crack user. Not only that, his daddy sold crack. So it just doesn't make any sense. Like, bro, your family, everyone you've hung out with are drug dealers. You claim to be a pimp. And then the people you're putting on your show, like Bridget, they're both alcoholic drunks. And you want to sit here and preach to the world how all these people are bad and, how they got to be pure. And you're living your life. Like, look at the people surrounding you. You see what I'm saying? So it's just so interesting that a lot of these red pillars are one way online and expect you to live the way they're building online, but offline, it's a different kind of show.
Can't do that, and I don't think anybody should abide that. I think you should be called out for that. If you want to be Muslim and you want to be holy and not haram and all that shit, then fine, but don't brag or show off. Don't brag or show off like girls on your stream. Like that's haram. That's not good. Yeah, it's just not good. And then having friends close by in your life who are also doing that shit, like having Zerka, like trashing women in front of you and all this shit. That's another thing that will always bother me so much. And again, nope, hold on. Sorry. I was going to qualify that. I won't qualify that. A good conservative man, Melina actually said this perfectly to the MLD guy. Hey, you said you're a high value man. Why are you shitting on women? Why are you calling women fat? If you're a good conservative man, you respect women, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't be in the presence of somebody. You wouldn't have a close friend like that who's just constantly degrading and screaming at women and calling them whores and joking about fucking 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds constantly doing that over and over and over and over again without ever calling him out or holding him to task. And he doesn't. Sneako will never call Zerka out because Zerka is the strong man in the room that he's looking to emulate, that he's like imprinted on right now. But like, why would you let him get away with that over and over and over again?
That's facts. That's actually facts, right? And the same thing. I could pose the same conversation for Myron, right? When Zerka goes on his show and drops the N-bomb with a hard ER, right? And he does it multiple times in his show. So it's crazy how like guys like Myron, even Myron would probably look at Zerka as the strong man in the room, right? Even though he'll get annoyed sometimes, he just won't. Myron doesn't have the galls to challenge Zerka. A lot of these guys, because they see him as this weirdo that just comes out and just says the random shit, but he might be too coked out. If anyone says anything, they might lose a couple of teeth or some shit like that, right? So they don't call him out, right? And yet these guys are supposed to be the red pill, the guys that they admonish Christianity because Christianity doesn't defend their religion, right? Or they like Islam because Islam, at least they defend their religion, they defend their women and all these different things like that. But here comes Sneako letting someone like Zerka completely just ridicule women, which goes against Muslim beliefs. All right, and then there's Myron. I know he doesn't consider himself black, all right, even though he does it whenever a controversy happens, but he just let someone like Zerka just drop the N-bomb with the hard ER. And when people are looking at that, people from other racial groups, all right, who actually agree seriously with the racial elements that Zerka puts on the show over there, well, guess what? How you? Of course, they're gonna be like, how can we respect this group of people if they're just gonna let these guys sit there and just disrespect them like that, right? So you're telling me as a man, you're not even willing to defend your own race, right? Defend aspects of your own religion when other people are disrespecting it, like Zerka. But yet you want to tell us that Islam is the way. yet we're looking at the two weakest representatives of that religion. Make it make sense. Tap Notice, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Sneako calls people bots when he really is the bot. Yeah, the guy is a bot. He just, it's like NPCs not realizing they're NPCs. That's Sneako, right? Because they always result to the same old played out arguments, and they don't even realize it.
I don't know why. Yeah, well, I know why, and the reason why is because like there's not very much conviction behind this particular belief system. But yeah, I mean, like I'm not really. I guess it's a weird thing. I guess it's a weird thing that Sneako feels like I'm calling out his like personal or private life, but I mean, I'm not really. These are just like the things that you're showing on stream. There are so many things. If I wanted to dig into private relationships, then I would start bringing up all the private shit that I'm aware of. But I don't do that because I don't think that that's necessarily fair game. But like one thing, for instance, like I guess I'll do this, like for the Lauren shit, the frustrating thing about Lauren coming out at Xena and then leaking that story that Xena said was fake about like Lauren hearing Xena crying and blah, blah, blah. I know for a fact that story was not fake because I know that Xena's done that at least 3 other times. And I know at least 2 other people who have witnessed it. So I know for a fact that story was real. Now, I didn't say anything at the time because it's not my place to get involved in like that personal shit because I'm not like in the business of like shit slinging your personal life. But I mean, like, if we want to go like really personal, we can. You can bring up my kid all you want, and you can bring up my cuck status all you want. My life is totally open. My life is super open, right? When Zerka referenced that fucking, never mind. There's like, I know so much shit, right? If you want,
and here Destiny is trying to be the stand-up guy when it comes to the situation, and I understand why. Because when you're dealing with a lot of red pillars, when shit goes south, they go personal. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. When shit goes south on their end, they go personal. Why? Because they know deep down, maybe they don't even know this deep down, but a lot of their ideologies suck, and they don't actually hold weight when it comes down to being paired up with reality and actual facts, right? So instead of, going at you in a way that's, respectable, as you would, during a debate, they can't handle that. So what they do is they'll go personal, right? So they'll go after your personal lifestyle, right? They'll go after every single thing they could pull on you. They'll go after your wife. Hell, if some of them are crazy enough to go after your children. All right. So these guys are completely insane when they run out of an argument. That's how low they are. So see, when y'all get mad at me, it's like, oh, Duke, like you ain't got to go after Lord Marquardt that hard. Why would you go after Lord Marquardt so hard? You gotta ease on him. I'm like, no, I can't, because these Manosphere guys, they're on a different type of energy, and you have to match it. These guys are dirty. All right, Sneako, I'm not even surprised he's going as low as to bring Destiny's kid into this, right? Because first of all, I thought you guys were men. All right, I thought the old code was he lived the women and children out of it. But all we've seen in the Manosphere space is these guys, all they do is bring women and children into it. So it's very interesting, right? So you can't play patty cake with guys like Sneako. You can't play patty cake with guys like Myron. You can't play patty cake with guys like Zerka or any other Manosphere would-be frauds, right? Because they don't give a shit about you at the end of the day. Their ego is so massive. If they feel slighted in the minorest of ways, all right, they're coming after your family. That's how crazy these jokers are. All right, so I get where Destiny's coming from, because there are even other people around Sneako that he cares about, right? Like maybe Sneako's girlfriend or girlfriend's friends or Myron, or certain cases some of these other guys, right? But realistically, that goes to show you the difference in mentality, right? Destiny's supposed to represent this blue-haired, crazy lefty that Sneako nonstop rages about, but yet he's the one that's going psycho mode and bringing kids and personal lives into the equation. You see what I'm saying? So it's just weird how these red pill guys have this way of thinking. It's weird, but it's understandable. So I personally don't agree, and y'all can let me know in the chat too as well. I personally don't agree on how Destiny's handling it. I say, fuck it, burn the whole thing down. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree, right? I say, fuck it. If Sneako wants to go low, go lower. Fuck him. Like, expose this fraud for the loser he is. If he's willing to go after your own child, bro, your kid. If he's willing to do that, get rid of him. All bets are off. Because I know if you went after my kid like that, oh my God, bro, I would find every out, bro. Oh my God. Bro, I will destroy you. I will go crazy. All right. But again, there are better men in this world than me. Okay, chat. I admit that. There are better men in this world than me. And Destiny is definitely one of them if he's not willing to go low. But chat, let me know if you agree or disagree. All right. If you are beefing with someone like Sneako and he brings your child into the beef, put a 1 in the chat if you're going to go lower, or put a 2 in the chat if you're going to take the high ground. Let's continue the video.
You want to like try to dig out like the same 2 personal attacks people have used against me for 5 years, like go for it. But your life is way more secret. Now, here's the issue. This is the issue. This is another thing that's hard for people to understand, okay? Ordinarily, I don't care if your life is more secretive and my life is more public. The issue is I generally don't come out with moral judgments for how people want to live a lifestyle. If some dude says, hey, I'm a cuckold, I like watching my, wife get by other people, fine, go for it. Hey, as long as you're not hurting anybody, makes you happy, go for it. If some other dude is like, hey, I want to have 4 wives and, I'll treat them with respect or blah, blah, blah. And this is my shit or whatever. Okay, fine. I think it's kind of weird. I don't know if I necessarily, but fine, go for it. If Myron, or Alex from whatever Playing with Fire, is like, I do one-sided open relationships. I think personally, one-sided open relationships, I think they're pretty cringe. I feel like the people in them don't have much self-respect. That's just my feeling. But hey, listen, if you want to do it, if everybody can.
I kind of disagree with Destiny there because there are people out there in this world that'd be okay with that, right? Because I've also had that kind of thought process too. I'm like, why would people be like, nah, there's no way because the disrespect, right? But there are women out there that don't actually care, right? There are the women out there like realistically, as long as you're chilling with them, like go ahead, go do something. Like I know situations like that, but realistically, the guys that these girls are dating will not be okay if the girl goes out and has sex with other people too as well, right? So it's a weird situation, but I like on some aspects I disagree because like you also want to know that if the women are choosing to be in that scenario, it's their choice. And no matter what, you got to respect it. Even though your side of the fence thinks is ridiculous, I still think like if they choose to be in a situation where they don't mind their man going out there and doing things like that, let them do it. That's their choice. And you see this, not to bring my Hispanic brothers and sisters into the mix, all right? But I've dated a few Hispanic women, all right? And listen, a lot of their brothers and whatever it is, they bruh, I've started to think like them niggas cheat a lot. I'm not. Hey, listen, black men don't cheat. I'm not making it racial. Maybe I am. I don't know, but I feel like especially when you look at that, there are a lot of people who are just okay with that. All right, and some of the girls they know they're like, oh yeah, he go out and he do that. Whatever. It's like, that's interesting that you allow that, but it is what it is. So I think again, what Destiny's saying, it makes sense. If he wants to open it up 2 ways, Adam 22 does it. Everybody else, that's their life. It is what it is. But it's not abnormal to see girls willing to just say, I don't care. I'm not going to go do it. But if he wants to do it, go have fun, live and let live.
Consents to it, and I've said that a lot with Myron. I don't like the way that Myron necessarily approaches women, but he's open about it and he's honest about it. If he wants to do it, go for it, So if you want to do your lifestyle, go for it. That's the difference, though, between me and Sneako. Is Sneako's coming out with this heavy-handed moral judgment. Your lifestyle is wrong. My lifestyle is right. So it's funny because Sneako keeps attacking me, saying that I'm trying to morally grandstand when I'm not. I'm usually looking for very basic things like, is somebody being harmed here? And if there's no harm, I'm generally pretty like, live and let live. Sneako's the one that's coming out here saying like, oh, you're not allowed to do that, or this is unethical, or you're destroying the world, or blah, blah, blah. So yeah. So if that's the case, if that's the case that I'm the one who's pretty chill and you're the one with the moral judgments, if anything, you should have more of an open life than I should, because I'm willing to respect people's privacies and let people live the lives they live. If you're the one who wants to make the moral judgments, we should be talking about your personal life. How do you treat your girlfriends? How do you treat your personal relationships? Because I happen to know personally that they're a fucking disaster. All of them are. And everybody behind the scenes knows that. Everybody that goes to the after show dinners knows that. Everybody that's like been friends with him or people in his life knows that. It's like an open secret. Everybody knows that. But it's very annoying to have Sneako come out and like fight at me like, didn't you abandon your son? Does your wife get fucked? Like, yeah, I mean, like you can say the same 2 things over and over again, but you're the one that's morally grandstanding. And like, if we were to start digging out your shit, like, bro, it would be over. It would be game over. Like, people already have like minorly dug it out. So yeah, I don't know. That's That's like the irritating thing for me. And then he's acting like, oh, Destiny's morally grandstanding. I'm not morally grandstanding. I just think like some of the things you do are a little shitty, but like I'm not even like necessarily opposed to your lifestyle.
Well, Destiny, what you got to understand is these guys project a lot, and y'all got to understand that, right? These guys don't really get it, right? Because they know, I think maybe subconsciously, they know something's up with the way they're living, right? It doesn't mesh well with the shit that they're preaching. So they project on a lot of people, especially people who call out their ideas for being as ridiculous as they sound, right? So these guys, they'll have no choice but to put all of that feelings on you and say, no, you're the one who's grandstanding right now and claiming that I stand for something I don't stand for. Meanwhile, they're the ones who are grandstanding and putting all these moral judgment and moral rules and imposing that on everybody else. Meanwhile, they're sitting there living an immoral lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? So I think they just project that because realistically, Sneako can go on Fresh and Fit and claim he's a good Muslim and he prays and do all this stuff like that. But Sneako, he knows when he goes home, he's going to the bathroom and they're both doing a line off of Zirkus Pito. All right. So we know how that shit works. So, like, listen, you want to sit there and grandstand and tell people that who aren't religious why Islam is the better religion, or you want to tell people who aren't dating or who are dating why their strategy is wrong or why your strategy is right. Okay, you're the one who's doing that, but your lifestyle isn't even intact. Okay, like Destiny says, there's a bunch of shit that you're hiding in your closet right now that don't look too damn good, bruh. It doesn't. And we knew just a snippet of it when you went after Brandon Buckingham. All the nudes photos you were taking for that gay photographer, huh? Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of stuff in your closet, boy. Like you out here just talking about Islam, bro, but posing for gay photographers. That's very interesting. You're anti the world being LGBTQ dominant, right? Even though they only make up about 4% of the population, but yet you over here posing for gay photographers. Huh? Or is there some projection there? Like, what's happening, bro? So I don't know. I just find Sneako being a ridiculous idiot. I hit the wall. Shout out to you for the Bibles, Jack. Because I give Destiny credit because you go after my kid, I'm coming for you. Your daddy and his daddy too. Facts. That's what I'm saying. They're better men in this world than me, chat. I have to be honest about that. I'm not saying I'm the greatest person out there, but listen, you come after my kid, there's going to be hell to pay. And there are other people who are just like, you know what? I'm going to seek a peaceful resolution or a conversation or something like that. You know, hey, power to you. I'm not like that. All right, I hit the walls not like that, and I'm saying like majority. Look at all the ones in the chat, bro. No one majority of the chat isn't even with that, bro. Like you come after their kids, you bring their child in situations that don't need to be brought into. They're gonna go crazy, and Sneako is just. I mean, you want to talk about a snake, man? Like, come on. Destiny is cool with you, and you're gonna snake him like this.
Again, if Muslims want to have 4 wives. Personally, I think it's kind of weird, but I mean, it can be done, and as long as everybody consents to it, fine. You know,
it's been like back and forth with drama with Destiny on Twitter, and it's been so okay. I want to pull it up and show you guys what's going on because I want to know if you guys think I made it too personal, but I will explain to you the justification why.
I want to know if you guys think I made it too personal.
Also, he's getting mad and he wants to get personal over this tweet. Does this tweet count as personal? Like, I'm attacking his ideology the entire time. It's not like I'm bringing up like personal relationships. This is a good comic. It's not like I'm bringing up like personal relationships, right? It's just him like he copies the Fresh and Fit ideology. He copies the Andrew Tate ideology. He's copied Ryan Dawson and Sneako's ideology. Before this, he copied Patrice O'Neal.
Come on, why does Sneako look more black than Andrew Tate? What's happening here? Who drew this comic? Who drew this comic book, bro? Like, why is Sneako darker than Tate? And Tate's the black one. I don't make any sense to me, bro.
His ideology. Now he's copying like Zerka in the room. This Jesse Lee Peterson is at the end is a meme, obviously. But maybe it's like personal and that like it makes him feel bad. But like none of this is like bringing up like super personal shit. Like these are like the public positions, public statements, public. Yeah, I don't know. No, I do know. These aren't like personal attacks.
Why I went there.
Who'd you rip that meme from? Somebody emailed me the comic.
Let's see. So Destiny posted this meme, which I think is funny actually. stop leeching off Aiden. Okay, fine. If you don't want, I'm not going to leech off Aiden, bro. He was the one talking about me a full set and lying about me. So, okay, but Destiny has been coping ever since he lost the debate against Nick. And this is a meme about me he found from his Discord. Probably found it while he was debating. Look into his Discord for moral support. But he says, fresh and fit, fuck women.
I love the looking through his Discord for moral support when one, I don't even use my Discord. I could be charitable to him and say DGG chat. But two, I don't really do it with DGG chat either. He's projecting from him because that's what he does. He'll go through his Discord being like, guys, give me a meme. Guys, can you do this? He had Fuentes like on Telegram, like tweeting out his shit. Like he's like posting stuff like in his Discord, like asking for likes and retweets and shit. Like it's funny that that's actually what he does. But yeah.
What I find even funnier is at the start of this, he said he found the initial tweet that Destiny posted hilarious. So you found it hilarious, but yet you took a hilarious tweet so personal in fact that you brought his kids into it. Like, I don't know if your ego's out of whack, Sneako, but like something doesn't add up. That it was just a tweet, bro. And the tweet was even in the form of comedy, and yet you took that personally, but yet you're on camera saying that I found it funny. Something's not adding up. Y'all know, chat, how I am. If things don't add up, I start subtracting. All right, like you're insecure, bro. That's what this is sounding like. John, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. John says Sneako looks like that one black kid who went to Howard and speaks at the march in the marches in, and Tate looks like the Jew who funds the fucking A, bro. Fucking A, bro. Dude, Andrew Tate, man. Hey, you know there's new news about Andrew Tate. We're gonna cover that tomorrow. This one's about his pupil, Sneako. But yeah, this is about to get crazy because Andrew Tate looks like he's freaking out. That Tucker Carlson interview was the biggest interview, even bigger than the Patrick Bet-David. But with big interviews comes big problems because it seems like Andrew Tate is kind of worried about the problems that are coming from the attention he got from the Tucker Carlson show. Because that show, I told y'all, and we already talked about it. It was literally the masterpiece in self-snitching, okay? So that show literally started having a lot of people ask questions about Andrew Tate's case. And they were like, yo, Tate, some things you said on Tucker Carlson's weren't adding up to reality, my boy. Like, what's going on here? And it's not looking good. He had to do a video trying to explain everything, and that was even worse. Like, he should just stay off of social media, but that guy doesn't want to listen. He doesn't want to listen. He doesn't care.
I mean, thanks, guys. You gave me lots to think about. Andrew Tate converting to
Oh, shit. What just happened? The stream go down? I think the stream just went down. Hold up, chat. Let me see what's going on.
Incredible to him and say DGG.
Right, never mind. I'm tripping. Something just happened. That was not me. Y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw that, right? That just went blank for a second. That was not me, chat.
Chat. But two, I don't really do it with DGG chat either. He's projecting from him because that's what he does. He'll go through his Discord being like, guys, give me a meme. Guys, can you do this? He had Fuentes like on Telegram, like tweeting out his shit. Like he's like posting stuff like in his Discord, like asking for likes and retweets and shit. Like it's funny that that's actually what he does. But yeah.
I mean, thanks, guys. You gave me lots to think about. Andrew Tate converting to Islam to beat the Matrix in these charges. Thanks, Andrew. You gave me lots to think about. Nick, you know the
Sway
are behind us being canceled. Thanks, Nick. You gave me lots to think about. Now I'm dressed as a Muslim. Before that, I'm dressed like Miami guy. Then Zerka, the Freemasons don't want you to know the earth is flat. And then I said, thanks, Zerka. You gave me lots to think about. And I'm wearing a hat with an X crossed over the
Sway.
And then Jesse Lee Peterson, amazing. Thanks, Jesse. You gave me lots to think about. Now I'm a conspiracy theorist because Zerka. So basically, they're like making a joke saying I'm impressionable. Ryan says, do you talk to Romo CEO? Yeah, we've talked about him. And so I responded. I said, now draw the one where Destiny tells me to abandon my son to play StarCraft in Miami. Bomboka! Because, and this is the reason I took it like kind of personal. I've avoided this topic because, you know, it's very sensitive to talk about fatherhood stuff. But like the guy, that's what he did, you know? That's what he did.
He took it personal with the fucking tweet? Is that what you're saying? That tweet right there, you're saying that Destiny drew the first shots? Are you that insecure? Are really? Is your ego that fucking out of whack that you're going to take a tweet, which, by the way, is more accurate than you can even imagine? Because that is, if we pull up streams of you and Zerka, which there are numerous of it, we just got to go to his channel because he doesn't post anything else but people or him to stream with other people, right? You say that. You just repeat the talking point of whoever's in the room. That's what you do. So just because he posted that little tweet justifies you taking it personal by bringing his kid into it? Are you that stupid? Like, you have to have, like, either you're that insecure or you got some serious mental issues. And all that growth shit that you were talking about, how you found religion, and no, you're just proving you're just as intolerant as the people that you follow. That's crazy that you're trying to seek justification for going after somebody else's kid for putting a fucking tweet up there. He didn't talk about your kid. Like, this is insane. Like, just the mental gymnastics he's doing right now is insane.
So what really bothers me when these people get on their moral high ground about other.
So, like, again, to reiterate, get on their moral. None of this is like on a moral high ground. I'm just criticizing his ideology. I don't know, like, what. Unless we want to take like the sense of like everything is moral, or like if you criticize a person's political positions or make fun of them for like copying people, that's like a moral high ground, I guess. I don't know.
Other people, especially like the leftists, they'll always play the moral high ground thing because that's what leftism is. It's thinking that they're better.
And then this too, and now he webs to reinforce like because he doesn't really have ideas about me, or he's scared to engage with what I say, or he can't. I might like intellectually be at a level that he like can't access, right? So now it's just like Destiny, leftists think this thing and it's really bad. And here are the things that the leftists think, and I think that leftists are bad and dumb. And because leftists think, it's like, okay, he like switches. He's like looking for like the program to run, and it's like,
but it's not just Sneako. Sneako got that from somewhere else. He got that because Andrew Tate does the same thing too, right? He talks about the Matrix, right? The Matrix, right? Because Andrew Tate's. He uses the exact same arguments, but he goes after the media. Sneako and some of these other guys, they paint the leftists and feminists, right? It's the same argument being repeated. Just switch out the name. You either switch it out for feminists, switch it out for Matrix, or switch it out for leftists, right? Or liberals, right? That's it. They have to go in and generalize because the person who's actually arguing on their talking points and showing how ridiculous it is, like someone like Destiny or other people they've debated, they can't refute the talking point because the initial premise is BS. They have to now generalize and strawman. All right. And then what was crazy is while they're generalizing and strawmanning by saying all leftists do this or all Matrix people who are bought in, who are bots, right? They do this or they behave in this way, right? They don't realize that they're the ones that are they're not even engaging in the arguments, not engaging in telling the truth. They're just strawmanning while accusing you of strawmanning. It doesn't make any sense, right? And it's like a lot of people who get duped by these types of arguments, you have no choice but to contemplate what their mental level is. Like what because these guys like to use IQ a lot, right? Where is their IQ levels at, right? To not spot this deception from far away. All they do is strawman arguments, right? They have to go to the Matrix because that leads to a grander conspiracy that it's easier for them to connect multiple different points to make these bozos believe that there's a hidden hand government or a special interest group that's coming after them. Realistically, it's just them trying to monetize off of their fear and off of their perceived potential value of becoming, what do you call it, high value man or whatever the fuck they want to preach now, right? It's just ridiculous.
Destiny, leftist, progressive, bad. WEF bad, insects bad. It's just like, okay.
Than other people because they're more empathetic, they're more moral. You guys know what I'm talking about? Have you noticed that with the climate change people who glue?
Like, when do I ever argue that I'm more moral? Like, I don't know. Again, I guess like if you want to get reductionist and say that, like all things are morality. I mean, I guess we could, if you want to go really hard, we could say that, but.
Well, on Destiny, the fact that he's going this hard against you, he's about to bring up climate change, right? All the climate change people, but this is an argument about a tweet that you posted up on Twitter. Now he's justifying that by lumping you in with a bunch of climate change people, right? rather than actually dealing with the argument, he wants to straw man to something larger so that his dumbass audience can have something to bite on. Because facts don't go well with these guys. Shane, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Shane says, King Riches and Sneako are very insecure. RP trait. Facts. A lot of these guys, don't forget Myron, they're in this category right now.
He says moral high ground because your criticisms and moral position aren't sincere, right? Yeah, no, I'm not going to grant that. If you want to say that, that's retarded. If you think that, you're retarded. But I know you're like have a conservative brain, so maybe. But when somebody says moral high ground or moral grandstanding, generally what they're saying is that your behavior is reprehensible and they're more moral in that regard than you. Why is it so hard to focus my camera? So like an example of like moral grandstanding might be like, I pay my employees way more than you do, right? That may be an example of like moral grandstanding, but I don't think like criticizing somebody's ideology. Nick also does this to you. Well, yeah, sure. I'm sure that it's probably, I think Nick and Zerka are probably like whispering a lot of things in Sneako's ear. So right now what I'm hearing is, right now, what I'm getting a lot of is it's probably a lot of things that that Nick Fuentes and Zerka have whispered to him, and now he's kind of like repeating them because now he's, you know,
their hands to the street, and then you have the police come and have to peel it off. How dare you? That's leftism. How dare you? How dare you not think exactly like me? Throws paint on a statue.
Like,
you know what's funny? The fact that he said that and he's not realizing that that's what he does to other people who don't think like him. He calls you bots. Like, you don't realize, Sneako, you're doing the exact same things as the people you claim to be fighting against. You've become your own worst enemy, bruh. Like, listen, all roads, I guess, they're paved with good intentions, right? That leads to evil deeds, right? So listen, although you are now heading down a path to destruction, I don't care if you think you're doing it for the right reasons, bro. You're doing the exact same thing that you're claiming your enemies are doing, which are the feminists, and who you're trying to combat. So make it make sense. You've become the very same type of evil you're trying to combat. You're using the very same arguments that you're claiming your enemies are using. It doesn't make any sense.
Like, it's so funny. He says, how dare you not think exactly like me? But that's what he thinks, right? If you're not like him, you're immoral. If you lead alternate lifestyles, you're immoral. If you don't, follow the whatever religious creed, I don't even know how he feels about Christians and shit. I'm not sure. But like, it's funny because
he thinks Christians are weak because they don't defend a religion like Islam, right? Islam defends the religion way better than Christians, and he said that. That's why there was a stream of him doing that. And I find it funny that he's saying this, right? But meanwhile, he can't defend his own religion when Zerka is ridiculing him, right? Zerka is literally has sat next to him and ridiculed the fact that he's a fake Islam, right? He basically calls him pretentious. Zerka is sitting there dissing this man's religion, yet he doesn't perk up like all the Islam and Muslim people he claims does and defend his religion. Make it make sense. This guy's a clown.
He's the one that is of the religion that has the moral judgment. How do you avoid getting steered from the voices around you? It's a lot. There's a lot of work that goes into that. I need to make a video on that.
So if you're going to go and say that I'm never going to be able to get married, which is what he's saying that I'm
not saying, and he doesn't understand when I say he's not going to be able to get married. I don't know if he understands the attack I'm making on him. The attack that I'm making is that he doesn't live a life that comports to the values that he claims to have, that he wants credit for having, and that he seems to be holding other people to. So, for instance, he's on this Muslim kick so much, like, it's all so good, and blah, blah, blah. Despite, I don't even know how much he knows about Islam or any of that shit. But, like, the reality is there are no Muslim fathers that would promise their daughter to a fucking man, that pretends to want to have 4 wives, is like bragging about like threesomes and shit and having girls on stream all the time and like shitting on women and calling them all whores. Like no like reasonable father of a conservative woman is going to like promise their daughter this guy. You're holding other people to a standard that you yourself are horrendously failing to meet. It's not a comparison to myself. I don't think any Muslim fathers would want their daughters marrying me.
But not even that, Destiny. He's not only holding himself to standards that he himself isn't capable of meeting, he's also teaching those same standards to young men too as well who are out there. And those young men, they're not even in the same position as Sneako. So if Sneako doesn't even have the hope of reaching those standards to be good, considered good conservative husbands, the men that he's leading right now don't even stand a chance. They're not even in the running right now. This is what we talk about when we're saying these guys are ruining a generation of men, all right? Like literally, bro. What's going to happen with these new generation, these new crop of men that's going to be coming out, we're going to be known as the lost generation of men, right? The generation of men that grew up under fucking social media. We can't do shit for ourselves. A lot of us don't even know practical skills like changing a goddamn tire anymore. Yet you want to scream masculinity on the internet, right? We'll just be known as the dark ages of the internet for men. That's what this generation is, right? I've never seen a more crazier generation of men who are so sex starved, right? Involuntary celibate, that they're going out destroying other people's lives by killing people, doing all these insane things, and then come online and then put out this anti-Semitic, debaucherous type of messaging out there. And these are the very same dudes that are financing the lifestyles of women that they actually despise, right? Which makes me question, do they actually despise these type of OnlyFans women, or do they secretly want to be with these women? Matter of fact, I'll go a step further. Do they want to secretly be like these OnlyFans women, right? These modern women that these guys like to complain about, right? I had the sneaking suspicion that a lot of these red pill dudes would rather live the lifestyle of these modern women. That's why they're criticizing it so heavy. It's projection. These dudes, they just want a hot dude summer. Pause. That sounds so weird. But that's true though. They want multiple girls. They want to have sex. They want to sleep around. They want to have no responsibilities. But you can't go out there and promote that, right? Because it sounds horrible. I want a bunch of guys who don't want responsibilities anymore. They want to go bang a bunch of chicks, right? That's all we want. No. So they have to hide it under the guise of, we just want to help women be more traditional, right? This is why men are stepping out of marriages and relationships, because we are tired of modern women. Even though the vast majority of women aren't being flown out, the vast majority of women out there aren't living these Miami girl lifestyle or hot girl summer lifestyle. Some of these girls can't even get a dude to pay attention to them because they're too scared to approach them. And then all of a sudden they're online talking about all these girls are being flown out. That's right. I know it because I don't have any experience myself, but I could tell these girls are being flown out. That's why they don't like me. Y'all have such a warped sense of reality. It's not even funny anymore. That's what, like, a lot of these incels, bro, they for real getting scary. Like, it's not a fucking joke anymore, right? They're getting scary, right? Like, honestly, though, like, you don't even want to know my thoughts about these dudes, bro. You don't want to know my thoughts. I've been diving deep into this rabbit hole, bro, about like first of all, y'all didn't know in some of these chats. Like, I gotta remember to do an episode on that where I literally break down like some of these chats, bro. A lot of these incels, when they get in these chat rooms, that's why I don't feel sorry for them. They're racist as fuck. Like, some of the racist shit that Myron does, go to these chat rooms, bro. These guys are ridiculously racist. Bro, these guys they don't care about the world. They're completely checked out about the modern world. Matter of fact, they don't like the modern world that we live in right now. They want to do whatever they can to destroy it because they feel as though that people who live in the real world has failed them somehow. Like, us choosing to participate in society means that we failed them because they feel left out. Nigga, how the hell is that my problem? Like, that you feel left out. Go ahead and do the same shit I did. You see what I'm saying? So I got to do an episode on that. I keep forgetting, bro. But these incels are crazy. And that's why it makes so much sense that guys like Sneako, Fresh and Fit, and all these other podcasts like Zerka, they're so appealing to these guys. They're everywhere.
Ever going to be like no father's ever going to want to marry his daughter off to me. Let's look at you. I'm sick of these moral high ground people always talking about how they're superior. All right, fine. You're going to say that Andrew Tate's a human trafficker. You're going to say that all the people that I like to.
Do you see the web thing? What else does Andrew Tate? Like, what does Andrew Tate have to do with any of this? What does whether or not he's a trafficker have to do with any of this? Well, like, why even bring that up? Like, what?
Speak to, you're going to say that they're bad people. Let's look at you, right? You abandoned your son to play StarCraft in Miami. And so he responded again.
Actually, by then it was League of Legends, okay?
This made him upset because, like, it did pretty well. He responded again, thanks, Sneako gave me lots of, right? You abandoned your son to play StarCraft in Miami. And so he responded again, and this made him upset because like it did pretty well. He responded again. Thanks. Sneako gave me lots to think about.
First of all, none of Sneako's tweets will make me upset because they don't typically do well. Wait, does anybody have a link to the guy that showed the bots? Sneako generally he's got like the Griper assist right now. So hold on. Let me see if I can find this video. These are the likes that Sneako gets on his on his fucking Twitter. Bro, I swear to God, I'm like the only person on these fucking platforms that doesn't fucking bot. I think this is why podcasts that I go on do so well. I think I'm like the only person that doesn't have like a fucking botted following, like on any of my fucking platforms. Because why would I waste the money on it? But yeah, imagine like, bro, this shit is fucking wild.
Yo, look at all these bots. Sneako, why you have all these bots following you, bro? You're literally, your account is botted, dog. Great Bill, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. It says, salute to the chat and panel. Salute to you. Look at all these bots on his channel, dog. Is that why he keeps telling us that we're bots? Because he looks at his Twitter page and he sees a bunch of bots following him? Is that why? Yo, that's ridiculous. And you know what else, chat? I won't be surprised if Rumble is doing the same thing with the views. Yeah, I think Rumble's botting views. All right, that's part of their little algorithm there. All right, I think that's what it is. Listen, a lot of these Rumble numbers don't make sense, bro. And there are other people who are asking legitimate questions about their fucking numbers. And I think Destiny has been one of them that bring up a couple questions about how what do you call it? Rumble is doing their thing. So it's so interesting how a lot of these guys are so desperate for clout. They're willing to go on either platforms that are heavily botting or would pay for bots themselves. Make it make sense, bro.
Like, is this what's upsetting me?
Bro.
Who's here?
Bro.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Now you know how I feel, bro. What you just said, bro. Listen, I don't want to be schizo and shit, man, but I'm telling you, everyone is botting.
They are, dude. I've met so many more people now that I know are botting on their different accounts.
Bro. You don't understand the world I've been in these last 4 months. No one believes me. Everyone is botting, and they're not just stopping on Twitch or Kick. We're talking Twitter. We're talking
they do
Reddit.
Instagram and shit. Yeah.
No, Instagram and TikTok. That's a given. Like they can't even if they deny that.
This is
I don't know what to
guys.
say.
Holy shit! It's just
brother.
2 minutes.
It's Destiny. It's everywhere, bro. Like I've lost my mind. I've lost my mind, Destiny. Like I just had a conversation about you. I was going over people who I don't think do, and it was just like 2 hours ago. Mm-hmm. You were one of them.
Thanks, bud.
You're one of the only ones. No, you're one of because listen, your numbers all make sense. They go down when you change content. They go up when you do your main content, right? You have fluctuations. Your Twitter posts make sense with your size of your streams. Your core community makes sense. Your Discord's massive. Like everything makes sense. My numbers, same thing. Everything makes sense. But if you look at some people, bro, not even some, all of them, nothing makes sense. Mm-hmm. Nothing makes sense. There's no nothing is proportionate. It's oh my god, bro. I've lost my mind.
There are like people that I would see who tweet like pretty frequently who have YouTube channels with like over 500,000 views, and their Twitter will be like 3,000 followers with like 500,000 subs. The no bullshit guys. If you remember him, he was one of those people. He had like Brooks or something. He had like 3,000 followers on Twitter, despite using his Twitter account semi-frequently. And I think he had like almost 1 million subs on his YouTube channel, right? But yeah, people are wild.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like people think, listen, when you're that large of a creator, my size, your size, any size, if you're 15K to 30K viewers, mm-hmm. that's a massive amount of, that's a massive size. Do you understand? The number of people you have coming in and out daily is in the hundreds of thousands of uniques.
Yeah, for sure.
So the people that have no footprint anywhere but that stream, it makes no sense. Because if you have loyal people coming from other platforms to this platform, to the level of hundreds of thousands of uniques daily, you're going to see some sort of footprint, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram or somewhere. But there is almost no correlation. There's almost no, or whatever the word is. I haven't slept all day. You don't see it. No, bro, I'm telling you, everyone is botting, and it's not just view count. It's Twitter likes, it's Reddit, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, and it's so fucking sickening. And the worst part is, the one thing I've been battling these last 4 months is the discoverability stuff. These people who are view botting, right? The people who are, doing these things, they make it so hard to make a fair discoverability system because, right, in a sense, they're manipulating it. And it's so fucking frustrating, bro. And no one believes me. They think I'm fucking crazy. People just think,
like, look at Fresh and Fit, for example. If you look at their Instagram numbers definitely doesn't match the numbers they have on YouTube, and it definitely doesn't compare to the numbers they have on Rumble. It doesn't make any sense. Even when we look at Pearly Things and some of these other big manosphere content creators, bro, dude is not wrong. Like, there's something wrong with the numbers that they're putting out there, man. And I didn't even think YouTube was a thing that you could bot on, which was crazy to me. But it seems like there's something there because none of the numbers are matching based off their channel or perceived channel size.
I think I'm crazy because everyone has a plausible deniability, right? They just say, oh, someone's doing it to me. So it's like, bro, a harasser is not spending thousands of dollars every day for 6 years straight.
Yeah. I still like my favorite moment in Twitch history. I think you were there for this, right? My favorite moment in Twitch history was the day the view bots died. Do you remember that? It was like was it like 5 or 6 years ago? And no. It wasn't just that nobody was live. It's that people started to go live and then we're like, oh, I feel sick today. I don't think I can stream today, guys. There were so many big streamers that turned their shit on. Masan, I remember from Hearthstone, was like a 5-figure streamer. He had I think 1,000 viewers. And he was like, oh, I'm feeling sick today, guys. Oh my God, there were so many streamers. Yeah, holy shit, that was bro, that was the funniest fucking.
That's probably what's gonna happen to Rumble when Rumble gets big enough, dude. When it finally gets that market adoption that's looking for, I think Rumble's gonna turn off whatever botting shit that they're doing, dude. And the real numbers from a lot of these guys, it's gonna make sense, dude. It really is gonna make sense. Like all these $100,000 streams or viewership streams that Fresh and Fit are doing, I guarantee you, as soon as Rumble turn off whatever botting system they're using, that shit's going away. It's going away, bruh. All that, bruh, it's going away because those numbers don't make any sense, bro. How is your new YouTube numbers not even matching up? Like, if anything, if your Rumble numbers are gonna hit over 100,000 views live, why doesn't your YouTube numbers do that, bro? Like, you ever asked that question? Like, why doesn't your YouTube numbers even get that high? You're gonna tell me Rumble, the new kid on the block, has more market adoption than YouTube? Literally the second largest search engine next to Google. If you don't believe YouTube's a search engine, it is. It's like, instead of searching for thoughts like Google, because Google, you search for thoughts. That's the way the system's designed for, right? You type out your thoughts, like, hey, why is the sky blue? Or if you want to research something, right? YouTube is if you want to research your thoughts but get a video tutorial on it, right? It's the second biggest search engine out there. You want to tell me that Rumble, the new kid on the block, is having more of a bigger market adoption than YouTube? Something's fishy. Something's fishy with y'all over here, bro.
Fucking day in the world. A lot of flus that day. A lot of 1 and 2 day flus.
Yep. It's bad, bro. It's really fucking bad. Mm-hmm. And the worst part is, man, like, it feels like people are getting rewarded from it.
Yeah.
Like it's almost as if they're being incentivized to do it. And it just like, it's such a shitty feeling, like I wouldn't care if it wasn't affecting me. I wouldn't care. I would just do my own thing. I know, my shit's good, but it's getting to a point now in this industry where it's affecting my business, right? Because if you have 5 people that are my size around and you have people who don't understand what you and I might understand being in the industry so long, right? About, numbers and, community strength, conversions, right? Because people with view bots don't have these things. They just have the number that, and they have nothing behind it. So it's like the people who don't understand that, they start equating your number with their number, but their number is all bullshit. So that's when it starts coming into my business.
Bro, Pearl comes to mind and King Riches come to mind because they both do that shit. Great Bull Podcast, shout out to you. He says he's 1,000% right. Grow organically is the only way. Facts. It is. Like you have to. Like that's why I never understood a lot of people who bought it, bro. It's like why? Just like listen, the views are not gonna match, the numbers are not gonna match. Just be organic, be authentic, dude. Like just it is what it is. Because if you're trying to make it on a platform, you want to build something authentic. Why would you want to fill it up with fake people? That don't make any sense. But yeah, you're right. You gotta do it the right way. You will never catch me botting, bro. Like honestly, I gotta even figure out how to start taking this YouTube thing seriously. All right, that's the thing. I'm not even, bro. Like, that's the thing. It's like. This is needed like something that I make money on, right? This is like my real world is like where I pay most attention to, right? Which is why I don't understand how some of these high value guys have so much time to spend on the internet. Because like if you like, I'm not saying I'm high value. Okay, I make good money. But I'm not saying I'm high value. How are you guys spending so much time online? I could barely find the time to come on here and stream. But yeah, y'all on here every day, but you're supposed to be the titans of industry, apparently. That makes no fucking sense. You see what I'm saying? So it's like somebody's lying here. Somebody's lying because I don't know how y'all are doing it. Somebody's lying. But, you know, at some point, it's like, I will take this seriously, but like, why bot? When you can build a community, right? So it doesn't make any sense. And I've always noticed that there are even smaller channels that are getting way more views than some of these bigger channels out here. Make it make sense. Like, wow, y'all numbers would just end up looking so ridiculous. It's not even funny anymore.
It's infecting my business, and that's why I care about it now so much, because it's just like, what the
Yeah, the problem with bad behavior is that oftentimes it gets socially reinforced, and unfortunately, sometimes there are social punishments for not following it. So like, for instance, like, so I'll be really critical about girls using a lot of filters on Instagram and shit, or, you know, wearing a ton of makeup or plastic surgery, right? However, it's easy for me to be critical of that. But if girls don't do that, oftentimes you get a lot of negative feedback because you're not doing what everybody else is. So yeah, there'll be like these social reinforcements that kind of encourage everybody to do the shitty behavior. Because like, do you want to be the one person not view botting and be the loser with like the low audience and shit? Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, that argument, that last part you just said, you want to be the loser that's not.
Yeah.
I feel that because I'm sitting there, right? Like, for example, me, right? You know, when I'm sitting there with 12 to 14K viewers on Kick, like I know deep down, I'm one of the 2 largest creators in the platform, right? Like I know it. But then when I, you know, go outside of myself and I look at the sidebar and it looks like I'm the 20th largest creator. Yeah, it does kind of feel like shit knowing that I grind and I put in the work and I have a real 14K versus everyone else's fake 30K, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it does feel like shit, but I'm still not going to give and fuck those pussies. But realistically, on the other end, like I think for the filters and the things you're bringing up, my opinion on it is I think you're right that you know, mentality where everyone's doing it and you're not. But I do have to say, that's one of those things that in the long run, I think you're fucking yourself because. Well,
everybody's fucking themselves in the long run, but the social pressure is always short term, right?
Yep. Yeah, but bro, like that, once you rely on that has to cause, you know, it's a Band-Aid solution, right? For the short term. Because in the long term, whatever insecurities you have just been intensified, in my opinion, right? Because eventually, let's say you end up meeting someone. When you meet someone in real life and they see you look completely different, we're talking head shape differences.
Yeah,
we're
but
talking
now
eye shape
I don't know how much of these
differences.
like Red Pill space you follow, but like now for a lot of these guys, like the expectation is literally that even when you're like around the house, your girl is supposed to be wearing like full on fucking makeup, like at all hours of the day and shit. So for a lot of people, they just might never expect to see somebody, you know, that's not like totally 100% kitted out, you know?
Wait, is that real?
Yes.
I'm going to say this, and I might just be old maybe, but I prefer... Like I personally, okay, let me make a clarification. If it's somebody I care about, I prefer no makeup. Like that's what I mean, it's up to them whatever they want to do. I accept them as they are, but like I prefer no makeup if it's someone I care about.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's, you know, a one night stand or some shit, then obviously, you know, I'm saying, look your best. You know what I'm saying? But like, as far as it goes for, you know, someone I care about, I think no makeup is the way to go.
Okay.
How about you? What do you prefer? You don't really care? Indifferent?
No, I mean, like I'm generally the same, but I've also like I've lived with like women my whole life, so I know what to expect. Yeah. But
yeah, makeup's just. I mean, to be fair, I don't think makeup's an issue. Like makeup's fine because, you know, I think makeup's fine. I think the filters have gone fucking out of hand.
Filters and the surgery are like the 2 insane things today. Yeah.
Bro, the filters are wild. Like, listen, when I say head shape difference, or head, like, brother, we're talking like completely different head shapes. for pictures versus in real life. We're talking it's a completely different human. Like those shows, Catfish from back in the day, where it was a picture of a random person and the person was completely different. I'd say it's the equivalent these days of the same person with a filter showing up without the filter, right? So before it was a different person using someone else's picture, and I'd say today's equivalence is the same person using a filter. Do you understand? Versus not having one in real life. Like that's how dramatic the filters are. Does that make sense?
Wait, hold on. Okay, where were we? I don't even remember where we were.
Again, this made him upset because it did pretty well. He responded again. Thanks, Sneako gave me lots to think about. Tried to get the ratio, could not get the counter ratio. So instead, he tweeted again.
I love the bragging with the bot accounts. That's just funny, and with the whole Groiper help too. That's pretty good.
Posted this meme again from his Discord, the left camp meme. He says, "My father was never around." This is Andrew Tate. My father was never around because he was a CIA chess My father was never around because he was a CIA chess grandmaster, and that's why he made me into the strong man I am today. Fathers don't need to be there like mothers. Men are better. And then Sneako, so true. I was actually just about to say the same thing. W Tate. And then Destiny, add me on Discord. And now I'm upset. Didn't get a counter ratio. But here's why this doesn't make any sense. One, because if you're going to equate Andrew Tate's father to the way Destiny raises his children, Andrew Tate's father was poor. Andrew Tate's father was a chess grandmaster, and he was traveling around the world playing chess to go and make a little bit of money.
No shot. Little bro can't really. He must. There's got to be he's got to be laughing inside where he's like, fuck. He's like, this. Okay, never mind. I'm rebuilding the bridge with Sneako. I'm rebuilding it. I understand Sneako now. Sneako is on a massive psyop to prove how mind-numbingly fucking retarded all of his followers are. It must be.
No. We can't. We can't rebuild that bridge. No. His followers have to know they're stupid. They absolutely have to realize that they're stupid and they've been following a moron for this entire time. No, please, absolutely do not build that bridge. Fuck him. He came after your son, bro. Leave him in the dust. If he wants to be that stupid kid on the block, let him be that stupid kid. Who gives a shit, right? John, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. It says, don't buy bots, buy ads targeted to large cities. I won't buy bots, period. That's crazy. But yeah, let me look at this. Look at this, guys. This guy, it's like his whole worldview, it doesn't make any type of sense whatsoever. It just one giant contradiction, and a lot of his audience don't even see that for what it is. That's why y'all are sitting here with full ignorance laughing at us, but we're the ones saying, are you not listening to what the guy who's leading you was saying? Or are you just going to sit there and just automatically just write us off as being crazy for challenging your stupid points that you yourself are contradicting on? Bro, these guys are making me stupid now. I don't know what's happening.
I don't believe any world can exist where he can make a statement that fucking retarded with that little self-awareness. There is no shot. That has to be a troll statement. His dad was broke because he had to fly around the world playing chess.
Listen, the jury is still out if his dad was in fact a CIA agent. I don't want to believe it. I mean, people were saying he was like a linguistic coordinator or something like that for the CIA, but I don't know. Andrew Tate, he tends to do a lot of this, all right? And, this can mean anything. He also said he was a world champion kickboxer. All right, I've actually looked where these bro. He said he was 4 times, right? And I was looking, and I was, first of all, his opponents. Like, you're looking at the records of some of the people he fought. They were basically like journeymen and like people with like zero fucking, what do you call it? Resumes, right? So you know how like some fighters, they want to quickly build up a resume. They'll go to like different countries and they'll fight a bunch of nobody fighters, and then they can pad this resume up. If after researching something like Tate shit, you can kind of see a little bit of that pattern, right? So it's very interesting. Tate says a lot of things, but yeah, I mean, look at this shit, bro. Like, talking about you could play a floor around paint. Like, how does that make any sense? his dad, I think Tate said his dad retired and he was playing chess, but I think he was going around flying, while working for the CIA and some kind of grandmaster all at the same time. These guys is just ridiculous.
What? That has to be the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. No one man can glaze that hard. Is no shot. No shot.
Master, and he was traveling around the world playing chess to go and make a little bit of money. Like he had a job translating languages for the CIA, and some people like conspiracy like it, but no, there's no conspiracy about that. To be honest, I've asked about it.
Oh, there's no conspiracy because he asked him and he said there was no conspiracy. I like how skeptical Sneako is when the people are on his side. So, this guy who's like imagine if it was any other person, like a leftist, who was one of the largest social media figures on the planet, who had a father that was in the CIA. Do you think Sneako would be like, well, I know it seems sus, but like the guy came out and said that there was nothing sus, so it must not be sus. Like imagine any other like left-leaning figure giving that kind of an answer, like Soros told you he wasn't sus and you believed him? Jesus.
He would travel around the world to play chess to make a little bit of money for his children, and he was also there quite a bit. The difference in why it's really stupid for Destiny to equate the way he is a father by playing StarCraft in Miami, being around hoes, and then is because
nigga, you're around hoes in Miami. What are you talking about? Whoa, yo, this guy literally has a zero sense of self-awareness. You literally hang out with guys who do nothing all day but hang out with hoes in Miami. Hey, what did I just say? Whoa!
Destiny's a millionaire. You're a multi-millionaire from streaming. That's a job you could do at home with your kid. You can be in this room playing your games, gaming, and then your son can be over there and you see it. But no, you're all the way in Miami because you want to be fucking around with hoes, and you don't really want to be a present father.
Pretty sure I could fly hoes out to Nebraska if I really wanted to. I think there were a few girls who came to visit me in Nebraska before. If you want to say that I abandoned my son, I guess it's fine. Go for it. To claim that you have the same amount of career opportunities available to you in Nebraska as you do in other places is obviously not true. I waited till he was 8 or 9 to move. Theoretically, could I have stayed in Nebraska and probably done okay as a streamer? Yeah, probably. It's a tough decision, but to claim that just as many career opportunities exist in Nebraska, or you can do just as much from Nebraska, I don't think that's I don't think it's the same type of thing. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a streamer of 13, 14 years. Why don't you ever fight the present father allegations by saying? It doesn't, nothing obviously I talk to my kid. Obviously I visit my kid. I think in a week, actually, or in 2 weeks, at the end of the month, he's coming over here for a week again. But if you don't live with him directly, people are going to say it doesn't count anyway. But of course, they never apply the same arguments to Andrew Tate's dad, who travels to make no money playing chess, or the fact that, I don't remember what to say. Or the fact that, obviously I still see my kid. It's not like we never talk or never do anything, right? Or the fact that is a military father an absent father or a deadbeat dad or whatever, or the fact that technically deadbeat implies I'm not paying anything, ignoring the fact that I bought his mom a house and a car and I still pay child support. But it's whatever. Obviously they don't care. It's not like anybody's give a fuck about the health of my kid or anything. It's just random whatever they can do to attack my personal life, which is fine, knock yourself out. But
and I've had conversations, people saying, oh, you're making an ad hom attack, you're making an ad hom. All they do is make ad homs on me. That's all they do. All they do is criticize my morality, my decisions, what I do.
It is, I do understand Sneako's point, but it goes into one of my frustrating things. When Sneako says all people do is ad hom me, in a way that's true, but that's because Sneako's his ideology encompasses every single fucking part of his life. He can't
be even that people make ad hominems against him. I think they do not, when they argue against Sneako, they literally argue against the shit that he says. It's not making ad hominem attacks. It's just saying that, bro, your ideology of fucking sitting here talking about being a good Muslim, the way you live, it's not a good Muslim. And if you actually question him on some of the talking points when regards to stuff like that, he doesn't know the details of it. All right, so you're talking to a guy who's literally a grifter. So it's not an ad hominem attack so much as you're attacking his talking points. All right, I don't think that's considered ad hominem. Am I wrong? Is that ad hominem? Nah, bro. It's attacking you. It's criticizing your talking points. They're not making ad hominem attacks. But Destiny is right in terms of his lifestyle does accurately reflect. Yo, this Sneako, dog. Yo, Sneako, bro. You gotta stop this, dog. Like, this is not looking good.
Be a man that just talks or does one thing. It has to be everything. So everything ends up feeling like a personal attack. You know, like if you shit on my League of Legends, no, that's a bad example. That would be an ad hom. If you shit on like how good I am at Diablo, that's not like an ad hom for me because it's just playing Diablo. Like the thing that I care about the most tends to revolve around like my politics and philosophy. Although even that attacking that wouldn't be an ad hom necessarily. Actually, I don't even know what the fuck he means by ad hom. I think it's just because he's like a Muslim now, or no, actually.
Listen, well, okay. When people are taking like personal attacks, it's not even personal attacks against Sneako, right? It's just saying that your lifestyle is contradictory to how you're claiming other people should live, right? So, for instance, you're saying that you're against women and these hoes and whatnot, but you're surrounding yourself with 304s on Special Fist platform. That's not an ad hominem personal attack against you. That's just saying that you right now are being contradictory to the ideas you're spitting out. So that's more or less calling you a hypocrite rather than just saying, oh, you guys are just personally attacking me. Oh my God, you're coming after my personal life. All right. The second thing, when they went out, the other thing that people go after Sneako is he's known as the second biggest cuck, right? That's why he gets the cuck beard. But like, it's like you went out and went on Playback's channel or podcast and talked about how proud you were of being a cuck. Matter of fact, you even recommended guys to follow in the same footsteps as you so they can, see their girl, being banged out by another dude so it somehow clears their mind. You said that. You brought that up. And when people rightfully so criticize you for it, it's not I guess you can label it as a personal attack. I don't know. I'm kind of confused too. I'm kind of confused because I guess you can label it as a personal attack, but he actually brought that out. So realistically, it's no different than like internet personalities coming out with the craziest takes online and then going viral for it and people ridiculing them for the crazy ass takes, right? That's not a personal attack for ridiculing something you said. They're not going after you personally, right? Just because what you said was a personal thing to you, they're criticizing that thing that you said, right? I don't know if that makes any sense, but Sneako trying to lump this in as one big ad hominem is kind of weird.
Actually, I think it's just because he's insecure. I think he views like every single attack as like an ad hom because every single thing he believes like somehow ties back to some way that he lives his life or whatever. So if I say like you're captive by a ton of bad ideologies, which is true, he's like, that's an ad hom. That's not, I don't think that's really an ad hom, but Destiny, he makes it sound like you could still live with Rachel and Nathan in the same house if you're not. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously that's not true. Even when I lived in Nebraska, until I think it was 8, we could never live in the same house. Me and Rachel will kill each other if we live together, obviously. What do you think? Oh, do you think the implication is that I just like ditched the mom and like peaced out when she was like begging me to stay? Do you think that's what he's implying? I don't know. Like I said, like these guys don't even like know anything about like relationships or families. Like whether it's, I'm not like, I don't really usually seriously contemplate his critiques on my lifestyle.
So if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna constantly do that shit on me, say I'm not gonna be able to get married, say that I'm a fake Muslim, say that I'm drinking. Say that I'm
fake Muslim and drinking. These aren't like personal attacks. These are things that you're very, very, very public about, that you're very publicly contradicting yourself on, right? Like a more personal thing would be like, why do you shit on Xena whenever you go on every podcast? Why are you too ashamed to say that she's your girlfriend, despite the fact that she stands you like harder than any girl I've ever seen stand a man in my entire life? Like, I've never seen a more sad, one-sided like show of affection that he seems to be okay, like perpetually continuing for the entirety of his online career. And I think that's probably one of the more disgusting things that I know about on a personal level. Like if we were to mine that would be kind of an ad hom. Although I don't even know if that would be an ad hom because
that's not an ad hom. An ad hom would be what Sneako did, taking a tweet that you posted up and then using that as justification to go after your kid. That's an ad hom. That's a personal attack because he's taking a tweet that you did that had nothing to do with Sneako's personal life or anything like that, had a lot to do with his beliefs, and then he made an ad hominem attack by coming after your fatherhood and saying you're not there for your kid. So if anything, the best example of an ad hominem attack is Sneako, while claiming that all Destiny does is do ad hominem attacks. So I don't even like that. There's a clear example right there. Like Destiny didn't put his kid out there. Sneako brought his kid into the mix.
is like publicly out there, publicly talking about like her undying love and affection, all that shit for Sneako too. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, what are you gonna do?
Lie or all this stuff. What the fuck is going on with your life? I called out Aiden today too. Like, I could be drinking and gambling. I'm in the gym. I'm actually doing a self-improvement thing. I'm actually quitting things. I'm actually praying. Destiny, I'm actually working on becoming the best man I could possibly be so I can raise a family, so I can get married. These things are extremely important to me. So if you're going to criticize that, what the fuck are you doing?
What is he working on that's not in the direct service of his career? Because it kind of seems to me like all he's generally working on is like career stuff. This guy is one of the leanest people I've ever seen in my life. He weighs less than I do. But he kind of trains, but like what, for Instagram pictures? I mean, like, that's what it seems like. So he trains a little bit, but he does it like in different countries and different gyms so they can like make content for his Instagram. What is he working on like personally? That is like actually like a sacrifice. It's not like in the service of just growing his career, No, but I mean, like,
for people like that, it just sounds good saying that they're working on something. It's literally no different. Like, when a lot of these guys, they go in and they interview these girls, and these girls will say, oh, no, I'm not dating right now because I want to work on myself. And then Myron would do this thing where, oh, when girls are working on themselves, they're not really doing nothing or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? When they use those arguments, these red pill dudes do the exact same thing. They claim that they're working on themselves like Sneako, but yeah, where's the muscle mass, bro? Like, in a matter of time that you got done beefing with Charlie, and Charlie proved that he got more muscle mass than you do, you should have put on some pounds, bro. With the amount of the free time you seem to have online, you should be dieting and working out right now, but you don't. You still look like a pencil neck jerk off, dog. Like, I mean, you haven't changed. You're still the same guy. So what exactly are you working on? It's not like your opinions changed. Your opinions didn't change. You're still the same old guy spouting off the same old shit. So what is it that has changed about you? Nothing. The only thing that's different is you go on these temporary delusions that you're a different guy, but you always revert back to the same old Sneako. So the reality of it, you haven't changed, and it's all likelihood that there's a chance that you won't change. You're just saying that for validation.
And again, like, self-improvement, all of that is fine. Like, that's okay. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like everything he does is like in the service of like furthering his career shit. Like, even the Muslim shit, which is one of the reasons why I'm so critical of it. Like, if he would start talking about the Quran more, or talking about like actual Muslim values, and not just the ones that happen to be benefiting him during a particular online debate, I might, I might be more warm to the idea that he's like pursuing a good lifestyle,
You are not the same as Andrew Tate's father. You are a multimillionaire who just plays video games. Get a room in a crib, set up your little factorial bullshit, do your debates, and fuck your dudes on Grindr in the car, and then have your son there. If you're gonna play, I'm not gonna say what you should do as a father, but if you're gonna criticize me, let's look at you.
If you're gonna criticize me, let me tell you what you should do as a father. But I'm not telling you what you should do as a father. But if you're going to criticize me, let me tell you what you should do as a father. Shut up, bro. Shut up. I mean, what the fuck? So just because he's a dad, he doesn't have means for a babysitter. He can't live his son with his girl Melina to go handle business. I thought that was a part of being a high value man, right? You got to leave the household to go out and provide for your family. Him going on your stream, him doing collab with you, that's also content for him because he gets to repost that on his channel. So he's out there working as a man, and you're criticizing him for it. Make it make sense. Y'all the same ones that call him a blue pill beta, doesn't want to work and just sits there playing video games, but he's doing the exact same thing you guys are doing. He's sitting there having conversations with you guys while streaming, and then the money goes home to his family. So who cares how he's raising his kid right now? He's not abusive, and he's around his kid when he can get it. So like, as long as he's providing, that should matter to you, right? As long as he's a provider male, right? That should matter. So, I mean, I get it. You're saying he can do it for him or whatever, but it's this different from him remoting in to a podcast than having a physical presence there. All right. Being physically there, it's a different experience, and it's a different experience for the audience who are going to be watching it there, AKA more viewerships. All right. That not only benefits their channel, but it benefits him as well. So he's a working man. That's something that you're supposed to celebrate. But the moment y'all are just, the moment y'all get pressed, you're so quick to drop your values and then ridicule something that is an example of what you should claim is a good guy. Because Sneako, you're doing the same thing too. You're a streamer. Now, of course, you don't have the responsibilities of having a kid, But you could be at home doing a lot of shit that you're doing right now, but you're not. You should be at home with your girl right now, but you're not. You should be showing your girl more attention, but you're not. You're out here streaming, you're doing all these different things, paying attention to Zerka when you should be paying attention to your woman, but you're not. Someone can use the same arguments against you. Like, it doesn't even make any sense what these guys are doing. It's actually so cringe. It's not even funny, bro. It's kind of weird.
That's fair.
Like, meanwhile, Sneako is busy, like, trying to cry to everybody about how chaste he is, about how holy he is, about how well, like, and then meanwhile, he's like having threesomes with fresh and fit girls. The worst parts of my life are accessible for every single person to have their opinion on, which is a little annoying, but at the end of the day, like, for the most part, I think I do okay.
Yes or no? Yes or no? And also, he lost the Nick, so he's upset right now.
How does him being small take away from the fact that he is training? Because I don't know if he actually does train. I think that it feels like he goes to countries, he records himself in like the Instagram gyms, and then he posts the pictures, and then he goes on to the next place. Like, that's what it seems like to me. Like,
yeah, if this dude was training, you would see some muscle definition, bro. Even if he's as lean as he is right now, if he was training to be a fighter, you would see some muscle definition on this guy. Look at him, bro. He's lip-wristed right now. He doesn't. It's all vanity shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't have the makings of it. And so I think if he was, because y'all remember who's that? Wiz Khalifa. Was it Wiz Khalifa? Y'all remember when he had that transformation from like that scrawny stoner guy, and then all of a sudden he had abs that were popping out, and you could see the definition of his muscles the moment he started doing fighting. Y'all remember that, right? From an artist to a fighter, like. You could see the transformation of Wiz Khalifa. Let me see if I can pull up a photo, actually. Let me see if I can pull up a photo. Make sure I know what I'm talking about. I think it was, right? Hold up. Yeah, it was. It was Wiz Khalifa, bro. I'm going to show y'all this, right? If somebody was actually training and working on themselves, right? Look at this. Look at that. You can see, look at this. You can literally see the difference, all right? From somebody who went from a scrawny stoner to all of a sudden who actually was in the gym, boxing, fighting with his MMA bullshit, right? Not bullshit, what am I talking about? With his MMA fighting and shit, right? Look at him. Completely, that's two different guys right there. So I'm sorry, Sneako. You're going to tell me you're doing all this work on yourself and you still look the same. I'm not buying it, bro. I'm sorry. Like, there's a big difference. Hold up. Let me see if I can find another photo. Because that shit, I was even surprised. I'm like, God damn, bro. Here's an even better one, dude. Hold up. Let me see if I could. Hold up. Oh, let me just go on Google right here. Let's go on Google. Look at this. Look at this. He's got gloves on, bro. You could tell this Wiz Khalifa is a fighter. Whoever this dude was before, he never saw a gym in his life. All right? So, Sneako, you can't claim that you're in the gym. You're claiming to be doing all this work on yourself, and you still look the same, bro. There's no indication of that you built any kind of muscle mass whatsoever. You're still limp-wristed, bro. You look like you can get blown away with the wind. You're smaller than Charlie. You're smaller than Charlie, bro. That's got to tell you something. Like, come on. Like, all this I'm working on myself and you're not acknowledging it is cap.
He's been training for a year. He's a young dude. He seems like pretty physically like healthy, but I don't know if he's like actually does it. I feel like he just does it for the Instagram pictures and he goes on to the next thing, right? Why did he, when he was looking for a fight so much, why did he avoid fighting the Brandon guy, right? That would have been a perfect grudge match. I'm pretty sure people were offering a lot of money to see him actually do that fight, but he completely ducked it. Why? And then I think in the meanwhile, who was he calling out? Who was he calling out on top of that? He was calling out Charlie, that he's like 2 feet taller than? Like, how does that, I don't know. All of it feels like a performance to me. All of this feels like a performance to me. Like, you do it so that you look good on social media, get clout.
I'm sick of this. I don't know if is that too far? Yes or no? I said yes, and now people are going to be able to say no. So it's going back and forth. And then I think I got did I get the counter ratio?
Can I get
Close. Chat, we need to like the sweet Nick.
I like how we've horseshoed back to the lefties now. Did I get the counter ratio?
It's close. Like this up.
Dev, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Dev says he needs the hyperbolic time chamber, bro. I don't think at this point the hyperbolic time chamber is going to help Sneako. I don't think so, bro. I don't think Sneako has the dedication for it. He doesn't even have the dedication to pray 5 times a day like a good Islam, okay? He doesn't have a dedication for it. He's going to get in the hyperbolic time chamber and do nothing else but waste time. That's it. That's literally it, bro. Like he's doing right now. He has every opportunity afforded to him, but he's just wasting time.
It's close without the whatever. Funny how he's so liberal, but he moved to Florida to abandon his son instead of one of his liberal heavens like California, New York. Yeah, the leftist, it's very...
Even his state, first of all, I did move to California. I didn't move to Miami initially. I like how he's about to go on a whole tangent because it like proves his point when he doesn't even have the fact right. It's like the exact fucking opposite of, it's literally the exact fucking opposite of what he's about to say. Like, what the fuck?
Funny too, how like Hasanabi, for example, the socialist communist, lives in a giant mansion in LA, but talking about how we should dismantle the 1%, that we need to give the money to the working class. And then his way of giving money to the working class is paying for a chef, is paying for a Filipino illegal immigrant to wash his car in the driveway.
Isn't he doing the exact same thing? He's moral grandstanding. Like, yeah, and again, like the moral grandstanding is says, I don't typically judge people on their personal lives. The thing, like, if you want to attack me on like grandstanding, you'd have to find like epistemic flaws or hypocrisies, because that's probably where. So, like, for instance, Destiny, you tell people to do good research, but like you're very biased, or like you're in an echo chamber, blah blah. Like that would probably be the stuff that's like more relevant than saying like, you know, like here's your family life or whatever. Because again, I just don't typically mind people's like personal lives for hypocrisy. I mean, like obviously I'll point out like hypocrisies in your moral systems and stuff, but he views that as like a personal attack. It's not a personal attack to say like, here are some things that you purportedly believe, but I think it's inconsistent with that or that. Like,
what I'm starting to think is that these guys label these basic things as personal attacks because they don't actually have an argument to go against like the real criticism that we're levying against them, right? So they I think they're using the personal attacks because they don't have the arguments, so that way they can utilize the fact that they're thinking you're using personal attacks against them to launch a preemptive personal attack against you. And Sneako displayed that behavior perfectly, right? So he took a tweet that was like benign. It wasn't anything that was serious, right? And he basically took that and used that as a reason to levy a personal attack by using Destiny's kid. That's a serious escalation, my boy. Like that's crazy. Those two things didn't even match. A tweet of a cartoon, then going after your you being a father or a bad father and going after your kid. That's horrible, right? So I think that's what he has to basically label Destiny as someone who personally attacked him for him to try to justify his attack, at least to his audience, right? Because if there's any semblance of sense that Sneako still has in there, he probably knows that just outright what he did, he probably knows that that's just wrong, right? That shit's just horrible. So what he has to do is mask that and say, no. What Destiny did initially, though, was bad. And we see the same behavior with Myron when it comes to Abba and Preach, right? Because they use the whole pretext of, well, you came to our studio. We brought you into our studio. And after you left, you did a reaction video on us. You're fake. It's like, wait a minute. Just because I come on your platform to challenge you on the shit that you were talking about me, all right, don't mean that I owe y'all anything. Just because I came to your house, all right, which I'm sorry that you run your own podcast out of your home, but just because I come to your house to have a conversation does not mean I owe you a loyalty debt. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, all right? So then Fresh and Fit uses that to go against Abba and Preach's personal lives and their morality by going after their wives. Then they take it racial by making it a racial element, especially when it comes to Preach, where Preach is concerned, right? Which is just insane. These red pillars do, like, they do the exact same shit as these fucking people that they claim to criticize. It's insane.
The things I just said about like Xena and the threesomes and shit, those would be personal attacks. But I think for a lot of people, either one, nobody sees that difference, and I'm literally the only person on the planet that does, or they're just being intentionally obtuse because they want to pretend that everything is a personal attack or something. I don't know.
That's their version. Call Hunter Biden, no. Boxing is haram. Okay, well, I mean, so is music, but just is boxing really haram? Was Khabib? Is it so Khabib can do takedowns, but he can't box, and it's haram? Refresh the ratio. Yeah, you guys need to step your game up on my Twitter. But even then, when it comes to
it's the same people. Like I've noticed this shit on Rumble too. If you watch the comment section on Rumble compared to the views, it's the same people commenting, like the same 15, 20 people commenting repeatedly. That's I'm like, how is it that you guys have hundreds of thousands of viewers watching you live, but it's the same people commenting? It doesn't make any sense. So I'm sorry that they're not going to balance out the ratio on your Twitter because these bots, all right, they're not going to do much for you. I'm sorry, Sneako.
Twitter, for example, and where I don't think I get the credit I deserve. Like, I'm still, look at me, I'm trending right now. Look at me. Chris from Rumble. Look at all these Rumble people. Bro, trending on Twitter, banned, canceled. Proof that you can, it's not haram. Yeah, I see back and forth about whether boxing is wrong. Trending on Twitter. Still, I was able to pivot pretty well from cancellation. This is a good clip. I'm going to play this.
So far, our ambition. Look at the most successful humans of all time. They were all ambitious and visionary. Most teenagers are like this. We have our entire futures ahead of us. And at this moment in our lives, our adult life is approaching. So far, our entire lives have been devoted to learning what it takes to become a successful adult. And as a teenager, this is finally right around the corner. We don't have anything holding us back. Kids, rent.
Tell me why Sneako's body size is the same size as he was as a teenager, bro. Nigga, even in you haven't even grown from your childhood, dog. You're the physical representation of a child right now, bro. Not only physically, but mentally, dog. This is hilarious. Like, get your weight up, not your fucking game, dog. Like, relax.
Taxes, any actual responsibilities. If we put our mind to it, we can become whatever we want in 5 years. But like I said, 80% of us won't. That's how life works. People throw the term selling out a lot. And I believe that if you accept a dead-end fucking job to pay your bills, you're selling out. It's not like you can accomplish your dreams later on in life. This is something you can't procrastinate. You actually have to do it. Those conversations you have when you're 40 about what could have been, should have been. You only live once, and no matter what rap lyrics will tell you, that doesn't mean getting hammered out of your mind every Friday.
Hey, bro. Nah, dog. Nah, bro. You can't tell me you spent all this time working on yourself and your arms looking like noodles, dog. Come on, bro. Come on, dog. You can't do that. RT says he's probably an ectomorph. That's cap. I'm sorry, because I don't know y'all to believe it. I'm an ectomorph, too. I used to be a hard gainer, bro. But you know how I fix that shit? Listen, I eat a lot. I eat a lot, bro, because I realize calories plus strength training build muscle. That's it. Like, you eat a lot more than you waste out there, you're going to gain muscle, dude, especially when you're doing a lot of strength training exercises. Sneako can easily do that, but his arms still look like noodles, bro. But listen, he's not eating enough, or he's not eating the right foods, or his output, meaning his workout, isn't matching what his diet really is, right? And I don't think he really eats that much, right? Or even if he eats that much, because a lot of people can dilute themselves to feel as though they're eating that much if they eat a lot of junk food, right? You're not eating that much. Even if you eat junk food, you're not getting the necessary nutrients from the junk food, right? So, bro, you can't sit there and tell me you've been working on yourself and you got noodle-ass arms, bro. Come on. Charlie is bigger than you. He's got, bro, at this point, compared to your arms, bro, Charlie has like fucking, I think Charlie's arms are probably like 15 inches across. Yours are like barely the size of somebody's ankles, dog. Like, this is crazy. This is insane, dog.
You only live once, and no matter what rap lyrics will tell you, that doesn't mean getting hammered out of your mind every Friday.
Hey, I was alcohol pilled back at 14.
Do you want to finish your life with regret? Then just get off your ass and do something. Getting this far on YouTube was a dream, and I did it. What have you done? This isn't a rhetorical question. What have you done with your life?
I have more trips coming up. Chad, where do you think around the world that you think I should travel to? Because we're young, and we need more life experience. The one thing that bothers me about getting money young, and especially talking to like people that are older than me, like Zerka and Myron, Sartorial, Tate, is they'll think that people like me, and I actually think a lot of it is Aiden, for example, like people like him make it seem like you don't put in any work in order to get to the point you are. You're just a young millionaire and you're become a dipshit. Go to Afghanistan, Antarctica. I'm not going to Antarctica. I would go. Antarctica. I want to go to I have a trip to Colombia planned, actually. India, Palestine. I want to go to all these places. They'll try to undermine the work you do because you're like, say like you're young and rich, and so everything is handed to you. And that's why I think it's extremely important. Chad, once you
Bro, you literally had to become a discount Andrew Tate to make money on YouTube. Shut the fuck up.
I hate that his view of having a fulfilled life is traveling and money. It feels so backwards. It really does too. And it's really funny to watch because typically if you're traveling in like a good way, you're traveling as you're trying to meet other people and expand your worldview. But Sneakos has narrowed so much. So it's like he's doing everything completely backwards. Like it felt like when he was like a random kid that was 16 years old playing COD or whatever in his room, it felt like he had a more open point of view about the world or a more expanded point of view about other people. But as he's traveled more and met more people, he's become more narrow-minded. Like, this is the way you got to live your life, and the liberals are fucking poison you, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, Jesus, like, what are you doing when you're traveling? Are you talking to anybody? Or are you just going to the Instagram gyms and posting, like, a picture of you, you know, hitting the pads for 120 seconds and then, like, clicking out, going to a hotel and f***ing a new chick? Like, what are you actually doing in these other countries? When you say you're talking to other people, are you actually getting out and, like, talking to people? Or are you and your cameraman going to visit the guy you agreed to do a podcast with and then sitting down, doing a show, getting the views, and then, like, hopping on a flight to go to the next country? Like, it's hard. I mean, I would hope I'm sure he's talking to some people. I mean, there must be some kind of, like, cultural interflow that happens into your brain, like, even if you don't want it to. But, like, it's so bizarre to me that his point of view about the world has become so much more narrow and closed off as he's traveled to more different places. Yeah, but I don't know. Based on like some of the videos he's posted so far, it seems like he's just meeting people in other countries that already agrees with him. So he has like the illusion of like being traveled. But in reality, like I can message my fans all over the world, go visit 50 different countries and not hear a single different point of view, you know, depending on how you do it. But maybe you're not as convincing as you think, Destiny. Lim Mayo. I'm about as convincing as I think. I don't know what you mean. Like, the problem is I can't compete with ideologies and cults, right? Like, the problem is that like the answers that I'll give you, especially when it comes to epistemology, it's not going to be fun, right? Like, how do you know? And most of the answers I give are like pretty boring. But if you look at most things in life, like most of them are pretty boring. If some guy's got a guide, you know, or got a guide called like Get Ripped in 2 Easy Steps, it's probably not going to be a good guide. If somebody's got like three tricks to losing weight, probably not going to be a very good guide. If somebody has like one book that you need for all the answers in life, probably not going to be a very good book. If somebody's telling you ignore all the mainstream media and get all your information from Tim Pool, right? Probably not going to be very good information. Like, the reality is, like, if you want to be like epistemically grounded and if you want to be like, I don't know, like even ethically, morally grounded, probably take some decent level of like exploration, some decent level of introspection, a lot of trial and error, a lot of different cognitive tools that we use to be inquisitive about our own minds. But none of it is going to be like as attractive or sexy as talking about the Matrix. That's just a really hard echo chamber to break somebody out of. Because the Andrew Tate lifestyle and all these guys, you know, like the Jewish question, all that shit, like it feels cool to think that life is a Marvel movie, that there is a big bad guy at the end of the tunnel, and he's the one who's, you know, all of society's ills can be blamed on. Because that's a very satisfying answer. I don't know if my style of questioning or whatever could ever compete with that. But I don't.
Well, Destiny makes a very good point though, and the thing is, like, this is the same point I've made in my last episode. Like, America, not even just America, a lot of Western countries suffers from a Hollywood syndrome, bro. Like, everyone thinks they're this main character to some kind of Hollywood type story. So, like, the dystopian future, a lot of the connection they can really make towards is these Hollywood movies, right? Oh, well, did you see that one movie or where we were you know, living in these FEMA camps, and you know they had control over us, and they knew what crimes we were going to commit before we committed them. All this bullshit, right? And realistically, it's not the case. Like, your life is not a Hollywood fucking movie, all right? It's at real life. Actually, it's bro, Hollywood is an imitation of what happens in the real world, okay? Matter of fact, the shit that happens in the real world, you can't even write a better script than that. That's just how reality fucking works, all right? So the fact that a lot of these people, when they base their Matrix off of like a movie called The Matrix, that realistically a lot of these guys are drawing the wrong parallels from, is actually it's kind of hilarious but scary at the same time, right? Because you can tell there are a lot of people who actually are going out in the real world and they don't have an accurate reflection of what it is they're actually looking at. It's all filtered through this Hollywood lens. So as they're going out there trying to say that Hollywood media is convincing you of all this, they don't realize that they're part of They've already been brainwashed. They're part of the brainwashing. A lot of these guys grew up with that. If you want to talk about the real conspiracies, like realistically, go look at guys like Snowden. Go look at guys like what's his name, Julian Assange. Those are guys that actually speak truth to power, and not only that, they actually acted on it. And the governments want them gone. They want them actually deleted. The Matrix, right? The fictional shit that you guys live in. They're living in a real world example of it. They're actually exiles in other countries because their government wants to kill them because they expose the truth and embarrass the government. The shit that Andrew Tate is saying is not going to embarrass the government. Maybe it'll make some people in the media, get their egos a little titillated. But realistically, it's not affecting anybody. The reason Andrew Tate's in trouble is because he's charged for being a trafficker. Okay, trafficking in continued form. That's a serious charge. So I'm sure they have their evidence. I'm sure they're going to see that in court, but it's not something that's like, oh, like a bunch of powerful people are conspiring because you're saying a bunch of truths. It's like, then why isn't the same people saying the exact same thing that you're saying? Why isn't Myron getting under the investigation? Why isn't Sneako right now? I would say Sneako is a version of Tate. Why isn't he locked up? Why isn't all these guys locked up? It's just amazing how that works, huh? You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these guys, they just don't get it. Holy shit. Shout out to Alicia with the $50 super sticker. Didn't even have nothing to say, just dropping the $50 super sticker. Shout out to you. All right, I'm gonna just leave that up there because I appreciate that for real. Thank you so much.
I don't know if I would try to compete, but I typically don't. This is why I usually tell people, like, I'm not here to. I'm very rarely am I ever here to like coach somebody through life. If somebody wants a lot of help in life, I'll give it to them. If somebody's truly like, yeah, Destiny, like, can you help me? Like, I'll do it. But for the most part, I don't, because most people don't want that. Most people feel like they have all their shit figured out and they don't want to hear other shit that I'm saying, which is fine. I'm okay with that. People are free to explore and do what they want. Like, there's shit that I'm still figuring out. So I don't know all the answers, except for how to fuck your mom in every single style possible. I know all those answers. Would you actually help someone out who's like that with you 24/7? It seems like needy people like that would be exhausting. Well, no, I mean, like, if somebody asks me legitimate questions, like, I'll usually try to provide like guidance or a perspective or whatever. But like most people don't. Like, I'm not going to be like having like Sneako doesn't care about my perspective of the world. It's not sexy enough for him, right? It's not like influencer ready. It's not made for TikTok. It's not digestible in 30-second clips, and it doesn't leave you feeling immediately good and empowered the second you walk away. Like, any journey requires a level. I'm going to be abusing the epistemic for a long time. I'm sorry. This is like my new buzzword. Like, to epistemically humble yourself is a really shitty process. It doesn't feel good to be like, maybe the things that I believed were wrong, or maybe my ideology that I had before is flawed, or maybe like the answers to the world are a little bit less satisfactory than I want, or maybe there are some news sources that I've listened to that have lied to me. Like, that's not a good feeling, right? It's not a good feeling for me even. It's not good to say, like, yeah, the New York Times or the Washington Post do get quite a bit long. That's not cool. It doesn't feel good to like have mainstream media write lies about you. It doesn't feel good to admit that, like, yeah, I used to be super progressive and some of these people are crazy. It doesn't feel good to be like, the research said this, but now it actually points to something different. Those things don't feel good. It feels way better to be able to say there's a conspiracy, there's a rigging, there's a matrix, there's a machine, there's a deep state. Like, those things just feel way better. You get in your echo chamber, you just, everybody resonates the same points of view. And then even the things, this has always been one of my big criticisms of Red Pill. Even when they give you harsh truths, they're not actually harsh truths at all. Usually it's like empowerment that's just disguised in a kind of a mean message. Like a Red Pill message or any harsh truth is never actually like, oh, this is like a really rough way of the world. Usually it's like disguised to be empowering as well. Like, oh, like, you're not shit unless you do something for yourself, or like, you're not going to be able to make it unless you take control of your life. And like, nobody's going to help you unless you do the blah, blah. Like, it sounds like a harsh truth, but most of the messages are empowering and actually feel like really good.
Exactly what I've been saying, dude. These guys are not saying anything profound. They're not saying anything new. They're not saying anything that's really going to revolutionize, a man or a thought process or anything. They're saying the exact same bullshit that most people would agree with. Matter of fact, you could take it to the person who's in the highest of the matrix order, whatever you guys want to call it, and you say these ideas that men need to stand up for themselves and men need to be tougher and men need to be strong. A lot of those guys will agree with you. All right? They're like, yeah, I think men should be stronger, right? right? And that's it. But what that happens is they take these far out ideas, right? Especially the LGBTQ, because that's what the conservatives and a lot of the people on the right or alt media, right? They want to focus on. There's so much. It's like, listen, first of all, the gay people are not even the majority of the population. They're only 4%. But if you look at a lot of the alt media, they're trying to make it seem like there's this massive agenda to turn everything gay. It's like, nah. What you're looking at is people who have money that influence and fund certain things. So, for instance, go petition your local conservative billionaire to go ahead and fund a movie project, and they'll come out with something. All right, it just is what it is. So make it seem like this is one giant agenda. That's crazy. All right, because oh, it's these ESG scores, and you got to see it because you got Blackwater, and they hold a lot of companies. Okay. Now look at what these ESG stores contain and look at like the guidelines for it, and you realize it's not really exactly what you think it is, right? So I think a lot of people, they would only listen, especially the young guys, to the Matrix type of vibe, only if it sounds like close to the movie they were watching, right? Close to the documentaries that you saw. And a lot of times the real life is it's sometimes somewhere in the middle, right? It's not always what these guys are claiming it to be. So I always find it interesting that they always say, oh, hey, these people, they're trying to get you. They have to do that because it makes their ideology sexy. Other than that, they're not saying anything new or profound, all right? For Exhibit 8, Sneako says the exact same thing as Andrew Tate, but yet Andrew Tate is facing trafficking problems, all right? What's the difference between those two? Someone actually ran a webcam business in Ukraine, and the other person just sat on the internet screaming and changing ideologies all day. That's the difference.
I think that's why people gravitate to him so much. But, you know, hey, who am I to say?
Are able to start a business once you're able to become financially independent and you can do whatever you want. I think it's important to put yourself in difficult situations and immediately avoid degeneracy. I think it's
like, look at the way that he refers to other lifestyles. How are you going to call other lifestyles degenerate and then accuse other people of moral grandstanding? The word degenerate almost begs a version of moral grandstanding. Degeneracy begs the idea that you know better than others how to live. Degeneracy begs that you are on a high ground compared to people that live in another way. How could you call anything degenerate and then say, are you high grounding me? Like, it's so silly. It's all like virtue signaling and optics points, right?
Ideally, you would never ever be a degenerate, but I think most men need to get it out of their system. Just that's the reality. But I think it's good to do it in your like late teens, early 20s. You do the partying thing, you get into a couple fights, you fuck some girls, you have a problem, maybe you catch the clap. You know what I'm saying? You go through those experiences, you go through a breakup. I think when you're 20, 21, I see so many guys like this, they obsess over a woman. You guys know type of one if you know a guy like this. In their early 20s, they get into a relationship that they're obsessed with this girl nonstop. Type of one if you know a guy like this, or if you're a guy like this. And then nonstop, you're just always fiending about this girl. You're always texting her, you're giving her all your energy, you're always buying her gifts. That girl ends up consuming your life because you want to make her happy. And then you get out of that, and eventually you realize maybe it takes a year, maybe it takes 2 years, maybe it takes 3. You realize that you...
Wait, is that true? Sneako was on Heel Mike's stream.
Is he talking about his ex? Because it sounds like he's talking about his ex-girl. And what happened to her when he really let her have the world, right? Especially on a swingers hangout, right? And while peering down the eyes of another man who's looking at her while he's deep stroking. Yeah. Is that the freedom you're talking about or what? Because it seemed like at some point you really loved the girl. And when you talked about that situation on Playback's podcast, it sounded like you were really hurt about it because that was your girl that you really cared about, right? I mean, what are you trying to say here, Sneako? Because I'm confused.
Hanging out with and holding hands with some OnlyFans girl in her underwear 2 days ago. Wait, bullshit. Linker, I don't believe you.
Cannot make a girl happy. You can't make anyone happy. Someone has to be happy, and you need to be happy, and then you compliment each other and make each other happier. You cannot make somebody happy. In your early 20s, you get in a relationship with a girl who's upset, who's psyoped by TikTok, who's on birth control, and she's always hormonal, and she expects the world from this one guy, and he ends up consuming all of his energy, pouring into her.
Like, listen to how bought that advice is. Like, imagine you're trying to go to some dude. The real people, the real victims here are the people that take Sneako's advice seriously on fucking anything, right? Like, what's wrong with my girl? Well, she's been psyoped by TikTok, and she's on birth control, so her hormones are crazy. Like, Like, tell me you've never been in a relationship and had any real problems in a relationship without actually saying it. Like, what is that? That's what you think problems in a relationship are women that have been psyoped by TikTok? Like,
It's cringe as fuck.
what? Do you think he's gonna give her a big speech about how degenerate and unethical her lifestyle is?
Yo, first of all, what's going on with her forehead, bro? Hey, talk about, dog. I'm not even trying to be rude, bro. Like, hold up, talk about, bro. That shit is shocking, dog. What is going? Your hairline should not be looking like mine right now, dog. Like, is that Circa sitting right next to it? What is going on, bro? Like, I'm a bad dog. Yo, what's going on, chat? Kevon Slim, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. Someone like Sneako needs to spend a few years in prison to understand the real world. Hey, yo, hey, Kevon, god damn. Hey, listen. Like father, like son, huh? Like Andrew Tate's about to spend a few years in prison, so maybe his son would, little Sneako would, right? God damn, bro.
You got a lot of attitude. Why you seem proud of that? What? I'm not. I'm gonna bring the queen here. Who's the queen? The queen. 1 million. What's that?
He's pretty autistic. He might.
What is the queen? Oh, McQueen for basic patients.
It's okay. Refuse to shake their hands. Wait, didn't he?
It's okay. But what do you have an attitude now?
I don't have an attitude.
Like, and it's so it's cringy because I can see it. It's cringy because I can see it. Like, it's just like, this is like every young man's dream is validation from women.
Jesus Christ, bro. I could, damn, dog. Yo, chat, bro. I'm sorry. I can't talk. I mean, look at the kind. This is the guy that says you're living your life the way you're living. You're degenerate. That's what, this is the guy right here. Like, look at him. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Really? Hey, but sis, that forehead though, like, I'm not gonna watch it though, bro. Like, god damn, bro.
Most important.
Like, see, this is what I'm saying. Y'all gotta ease off with the perms and little chemicals in your hair, bro. Like, I don't know what race this lady is. She looks very ambiguous, so she might be mixed. But y'all gotta stop with them chemicals in your hair, bro. Y'all literally shearing off your hairline, bro. Like, that's crazy.
Important thing to an insecure man is the approval of any woman in the room, right? So that's why anytime these guys, it's always got to be like, please, like, come near me, like, promise you, like, trust me. More than a Bugatti, more than $1 million, what insecure men desire more than anything else in the universe is the approval of any woman ever.
Said, who's more attractive between the two of us?
Zerka.
Zerka? Why is Zerka more attractive?
I don't know. He's my type. You?
What's your type?
I mean, just my type.
What? No, this is the concept.
Look at this nigga. Tell me you're coked out without telling me you're coked out right now. What the fuck? Like, look at this dude, bro.
Why is Zerka more attractive?
I don't know. He's my type. You?
What's your type?
I mean,
look at this. Yo, chat. What is wrong with these people? Like, every one of these people they're surrounding themselves by are oddballs. Like, they all look so freaking odd to me, bro. Look at Zerka. Why do you find me attractive? Bro, oh my God, dog. Hey, y'all need to stop with these drugs, dog. Hey, listen, I don't even want to grandstand because I do drugs, so I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't grandstand, I guess.
Just my type.
What? No, this is the content. Okay, but what's your type?
Look at this dog.
I mean, he's
a
man.
So what am I? What am I?
It's just not my type. That's it.
Why am I not? Wait. Why am I not your type?
Because he looks like my type. You just don't look like my type. I like big guys, you know?
Okay.
You are different.
I'm different. Bro, Sneako, what she's trying to say is if your bicep matches hers, it's not a good fit. I'm sorry, bro. It's just the truth. Hey, listen, she's basically trying to say it without being like, you know, in your case and shit. But you say, hey, bro, your arms looking the same size as mine, dog. You can't. That's why she said she like the big guys, all right? And the funny thing is, Zerka's arms ain't even that big, bro. Like, this is funny. Compared to his shoulders, it's like his arms, like you could tell Zerka hasn't been to a gym, all right? Like all of his weight loss has been through cocaine, all right? So he has to attribute that for a lot of his success in the weight loss department. But like he is definitely not touched the gym because his arm, hey, look at his arms doesn't even match his delts, bro. I mean, just look at his delts compared to his arm, bro. It don't even make any fucking sense, right? So it's just interesting. Like Sneako, that's what she's trying to say. You both have the same size arms, okay? She likes bigger guys, okay? At least Zerka is taller than you, so I mean, I guess. And look at the smile Zerka has, bro. Tell me you're coked up without telling me you're coked up right now. Look at the piercing focus on his face right now. That's the look of someone that just did a line in the bathroom and is pumped. Okay, look, he's got the grease going. Like, look at this guy. This is insane, bro.
Different way. How tall are you? Okay, what do you mean big guys?
Sorry, no, she's talking about Asian penis syndrome.
What the? You talk about small penis all the time. What are you talking about?
Chill,
Wait, how tall are you? Stand up next to me. Are you even like? I can mob.
Oh, he said. Wait, why did Zerka say chill? Wait. I have never seen. Yo, do y'all see how Zerka got subtly serious when Sneako was like, no, you're the one that always talk about small dicks. Wait a minute now, bro. Wait, time out. I gotta rewind that talk. Yo, chat.
How tall are you? Okay, what do you mean big guys?
Sorry, no, she's talking about Asian penis syndrome.
What the? You talk about small penis all the time. What are you talking about?
Chill,
Wait, how tall are you? Stand up next.
Whoa! Hey! No. Hey, yo. I'm finding out a lot of things here, bro. Hey, hold on. I gotta slow that shit down. Where's the playback speed, dog? Because this is not how Zerka usually responds. No. If somebody throws, I've seen Sneako throw an insult back at Zerka, and Zerka lobs it back. The moment Zerka is trying to diffuse a conversation, something is there. All right, and y'all know when things don't add up, I'm subtracting. What? Hold on, chat. Because mind you, Zerka's the one that started the insult. So the fact that he wanted to hold him.
I mean, I like.
I'm different way. How tall are you? Okay, what do you mean big guys?
Sorry, no, she's talking about Asian penis syndrome.
What the? You talk about small penis all the time. What are you talking about?
Chill,
Wait, how tall are you? Stand up.
Whoa. My boy Zerka. I think y'all, listen, bro. See, that's what I'm saying. A lot of these dudes that got these energies that come online, they have these energies, they just seem aggressive, overly aggressive towards women a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm not saying you can't have your occasional breakups and whatnot, and, you know, sometimes there's some foul-ass women out here, you know, so y'all men got to be careful. I'm not saying any of that. Don't get me wrong, okay? But, like, realistically, when you look deep down at the vitriol, a lot of these men, especially when they talk about women that they have, you have to help us think that it must come from a deeper spot than just what they're saying, right? That there's the underlying insecurity. Like when I look at someone like Myron, when I look at somebody like Sneako, when I look at someone like Zerka and Andrew Tate, I look at a bunch of dudes, not strong men who are conquering the world. I mean, maybe monetarily speaking, they're winning, right? But they can't do it without y'all money. But at the end of the day, when they speak, it's almost like there's an under level of insecurity that's fueling whatever talking point that they're so passionate about, right? And it's just interesting to see that dynamic play out, right? And that's why it's like those are like these men who supported all this shit. Like, look at Zerka looking all humble when Sneako snapped back with the little dick talk, huh? The little pee-pee talk. So all of a sudden, Zerka get looking humble. He's like, hey, whoa, chill. We're not gonna talk about my performance in the bedroom, okay? Like, y'all look funny. A lot of you red pillars, y'all are some funny ass people.
Next to me. Are you even like? I can mob you just for the fact that he's big. Wait,
You see how the shirt fits on him and on you.
Zerka's shirt doesn't even fit on him. What is this chick talking about? Zerka has noodle arms for his size. He has to roll up the sleeves to make it look like he has something resembling a bicep, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if this is what Zerka used to weigh, you know, right? But he doesn't have enough money yet to buy new fitting clothes. That's what's happening right now, bro. Like, look at this. Like this nigga Sneako, he's really about to just like what are you doing, bro? First of all, if we're gonna do it right, all right, your t-shirt, okay, it's supposed to at least complement the length of your arm. So like this is a loose, pretty fitting t-shirt, but like usually it fits around my arm. Actually, most of my t-shirts they fit around my arms. Like my biceps are huge. Like my arms are pretty huge compared to my size, right? And listen, I have like really broad soldiers, right? So this is what I'm talking about with Zerka. Like your triceps, right? You're supposed to see it pop out, right? Even when your arm, when your arms are straight, right? You see when your arms are straight, right? You're not doing nothing. Like your arms are supposed to naturally fill your shirt, right? You look at Zerka, who's got a roll up an oversized shirt. You look at Sneako, who's wearing he look like he's wearing a schmedium right now, and he can't even fill those bitches out. Like, I mean, y'all niggas just look pathetic. I actually don't think you guys are working in the real world. I think you guys just pretend to do shit because, like, like we even look at Myron. If we're thinking about Myron for a second, right? Myron got noodle arms too, but he's supposed to be the fit guy. Right? You look at Fresh, he's all out of shape. I'm so confused on these niggas, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, chat. I'm so confused on these dudes.
Shirt. It's just this type of shirt. Whoa. Usually, if I had
I didn't tell it's bad. It's just.
Hey, you're saying go shopping. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the content. Now the chat's gonna be like, oh my god, that's tough. Sneako's crying. It's gonna get clipped. That's better than the millennial. Oh, what do you think about Stalin, huh? You said that I need a lot of patience to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to know, you know.
Okay. What's difficult to get to know about you?
Why? Give me the fucking keys.
Why?
I don't know.
What's your roadblocks? Let's break them down.
Sneako, you just visit.
How do I avoid that feeling? Start fucking your mom, and then you don't need any other women. Woo yeah.
And then when our channels were dying,
What happened? There's no girls in here. Where did everybody go?
I don't know.
But I think I'm.
You like teenagers?
I love them. How old are you?
Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but in Islam, isn't there no purpose for single women and single men to ever hang out with each other unless it's on like a sanctioned like date? Like, aren't men and women supposed to be socializing in different areas, or is that just only like a fundamentalist point of view? Does anybody know? I thought that in Islam it was considered, I don't know if it's haram or not, for like men and women shouldn't be going to social functions together. Like
if Muhammad was alive, he'd look down on this shit right here. That, for sure. No, you're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. A lot of these niggas are just fake Muslims. They're fake Christians and fake Muslims. That's just what it is. All right. It is what it is. Bro.
Did this guy like it's almost like Sneako.
I mean, look.
It's almost like Sneako converted to being a cultural Muslim. Is that a thing? Can you do that? Is that possible?
I mean, look at this debauchery.
I know. 22.
Yeah, what is music? We have to listen on a talk.
I kind of want this talk. What the fuck?
Like, it's so cringe, but I don't know. Sorry. Please tell me more about our degenerate lifestyles, my friend.
To make her, to try to prove to her that you're a good guy. And you can't do that. I mean, the best way to realize you can't do that is to go through it. Elon tweeted, yeah, I want to check that out. You guys know what I'm talking about? I know so many guys in the 2021, and they're going through that right now. I would say Salim just kind of got over that. Steezy's kind of getting through that now. I went through that. And then you use that heartbreak. And what's a really defining moment in a man's life is figuring out how to pivot and become better after that. Because one, you can go down or incel rap. That's when Morpheus actually offers you the pills. You can take the black hip pill, be doomed forever. Red pill, become filled with rage, and then eventually accept God. Blue pill, you can dye your hair blue and then just become an absolute degenerate and start opening up Grinder.
Oh, hey, yo, chat. What the fuck is he talking about? Like, who? Hey, yo, bro. Hey, y'all. Hey, this is getting ridiculous, bro. I'm sitting here. I'm like, wait a minute. What are you? Yo, you're not making sense, dog.
But that's a really defining moment. And it takes a while to get over. So I think you should get that over in your early 20s, late teens. But then once you get over that, really focus on what you're supposed to do. So once you get over that, and I really want this for everybody in the chat watching. I don't just want this to be a stream where we're doing bullshit. Once you're able to start your own business, you have employees, everything is running for yourself. You're actually making income. You're always working.
Like, this is like the most like.
Yo, first of all, time out. Business. Sneako, what business have you actually started, ran successfully? Maybe not successfully, but what business have you actually ran from the moment you started streaming on or putting videos out on YouTube, when we know how young you were when you were doing it, to now? What actual back-end business do you have in terms of building up an organization and hiring people? It seems like social media has been your thing. Like, what are you talking about? And no, young men shouldn't be getting out these red pill rabbit holes in their 20s, okay? And you stupidos, I'm sorry, you stupidos who are out there listening to this red pill shit, all right, thinking about, I'm just gonna, follow down the rabbit hole through my 20s and like realize this shit, and hopefully after my 30s, I'm gonna get it out of my system and then start getting to work. You don't have that much time, my dude. You should be spending your time off of the internet, off of this red pill incel shit, and actually engaged in communities and engaged in situations where you're going to not only benefit the people around you, but it's going to indirectly benefit yourself. When this guy's talking about starting a business, when you want to start a business, you got to understand what running a business is all about. It's not just this sexy thing about running NFTs or e-commerce or all these courses that you want to sell online like these guys promote. It's not as sexy as that, bruh. A lot of times running a business, it comes to like serving a need, serving a problem that people have. And you can only understand that problem by either listening to people or figuring out shit that's an issue for you. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all don't really understand that. You're thinking, oh, I'm going to just do this e-commerce course, or, oh, I'm going to sign up for this, a crypto investing webinar or whatever the fuck it is, and I'm just going to make 10K a month. That's not how that shit works. You have to figure out a problem that is either society is having or you're having, and you have to figure out a way to solve it. A lot of y'all are not even doing the work to be self-reflective. You're not doing that work. You're listening to guys on the internet who actually they've never been given the opportunity to be self-reflective, all right? And even if they were given that opportunity, they completely bomb. Look at Sneako, has no idea, no experience in business. Matter of fact, all the people that y'all have been following and made red pill leaders, they actually haven't built anything in the real world prior to utilizing internet for clout. Okay, we're going to look at Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate was a broke kickboxer, all right? The only reason he got famous because he got involved in the world's oldest profession, but then moved that online. That's what he did, all right? Scammed a bunch of dudes out of money, but he didn't run a legitimate business when he got out of kickboxing. Look at Myron. Myron was a fucking Homeland Security agent before this. Look at Sneako. Sneako, he's always been on YouTube. He's always been on YouTube, bro. Never had an opportunity to start a business. Like, what are we talking about here? Yeah, here's a 24-year-old who hasn't gotten life figured out yet. He's going to tell us what to do? Oh, my God, bro. I can't stand these people, dog. Like, I low-key can't do this, bro. Chat, I'm getting tired. Chat, I'm getting tired, dog. I can't do this.
I feel like I'm listening to Chat GPT advice right now, right? Like, okay, if you have a girl and you're obsessed with her, you're going to take some time and get over it. And then eventually you'll have a business with some employees and find God and don't be an incel. And what is the advice here?
You need to put yourself in situations where you can experience life more and you continue to grow even though you're rich. Because a lot of the process
now the advice for rich people
to get better is going through hardships and going through struggle. And if you become rich early, if you become a millionaire in your 20s, it's going to be difficult because of the temptations everywhere. Now you're rich. Girls want you. You can easily not work.
Thank God for that huge swath of Sneako's audience that is rich. Please tell me. Okay, once I'm rich, how do I avoid becoming a bad person? Please tell me.
And you could become a degenerate. You don't need to focus on the traditional ways that men go through the rite of passage of becoming made men. And so I'm at this. Like, I make money. And so what do I do in order to continue to mature and become better every day? So by the time I'm 30, by the time I get married and want to have kids, that I'm a competent man who hasn't been taken advantage of my whole life. Because all these NFT guys, Tate talks about those all the time, the DNGs, the dorks. I met a lot of these people, like these NFT crypto guys who make millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they have no idea how the world works, and their reward systems are so messed up because everybody wants to be around them, not because of anything that they offer, but because
hey Bozo, Andrew Tate hosted some of these NFT guys on his do you want me to say it? Oh yeah, his little course he's been selling for $50 a month. All right. So when you hustle in the university like his, all right, he was teaching y'all how to do crypto, right? I mean, are you forgetting? You made a discount version of Hustlers University, right? You're selling those $50 courses. All right. Crypto is in e-commerce. It's all part of the scheme that you guys have. So if you're clowning this guy, or it takes clowning all these guys who are, they're just making money off NFTs and they don't know anything else, bruh, what do you think all these get rich quick schemes you guys are promoting are doing? A lot of these dudes are trying to get money online, not knowing how operating a real operation works. They think NFT is the quick way to growth, but you guys are selling that dream too. This is weird.
Of the money that they have. And so you want to be able to avoid that problem and not get taken advantage of. Raw Fridge, thank you for the 10. Big respect, Sneako, 27 years old, living in northern Jordan with 2 wives and 6 kids. That's what I'm talking about. W Raw Fridge, 27 years old, living in northern Jordan with 2 wives and 6 kids. 7th on the way. Come visit. We'll show you around, brother. Mashallah. I want to come. I want to come to Jordan.
He's not coming, dog. But thank you for the money. He's not showing up.
How the fuck do you manage that? 2 wives and 6 kids. That's pretty ideal. 4 seems like a lot of work. 2 or 3.
Bro, you don't even manage one correctly. What the fuck?
It would make you closer to Allah.
Why don't you start with 1 and work from there?
So yeah, I want to continue traveling, seeing the world, and doing all the things that. And that's why I think it's important to do things like fighting and training and putting yourself in a difficult situation. Am I looping?
Bro, you don't even have biceps. Don't talk to me about fighting and training. Shut the fuck up.
I'm looping, chat. Okay.
What do you think Sneako will be in 5 to 10 years? I don't know. It depends on which other man is popular on the internet at that point. How do you avoid having a rational thought process captured by ideology? It seems like that's what's happening to Sneako. I don't know. We should like make a video on that at some point. Oh, I posted something in my chat asking how people got out of their echo chambers. But when I was reading through the responses, it seemed like I don't know how many people were like actually legitimately stuck in echo chambers versus were just like kind of in just like didn't have access to much information. Can you and Sneako do a live debate today? I mean, maybe if he wants to, but there's just not much to debate. Like he doesn't have much. There's not much like going on there. How did did Forson's run end? I'm trying to figure out how did Quinn die when he was in one of these bubbles at the end. I'm so curious now.
Well, I'm not as curious. Like realistically, what do y'all think, bro? Like we see Sneako doing this shit. I don't think Sneako is an original person. I don't think he ever was an original person. I think part of me think it's a mixture of him doing this as an act and him being an idiot, right? So I see him combining those two, where he's just looking at the best person in the room, right? Like either Zerker or someone like Andrew Tate, and he just molds himself to be that character. I really don't think Sneako really has an opinion of his own. And maybe he did when he was younger, but now he's just a different dude. He's a brown noser. That's what he is, dude. He's a brown noser. There's nothing else. Like it's just kind of cringe just seeing how that happened, man. And it's odd, but like I also think what's even weird is he goes after Destiny's kid over just a benign tweet, right? It's not something that was serious. It's like, dude, like why are you? It was a comic. Destiny didn't even make. I'm not sure if he made it. I'm pretty sure Destiny didn't make that comic, but he didn't even make the comic, and you're using that as an excuse to go after his personal life while claiming he makes ad hominem attacks. Like it's just so freaking weird, bro. But what do you guys honestly think about this whole Sneako beef, right? Like who do you think is gonna like who actually do you think that is gonna make out in the end of this, man? Because I don't think this is something that I see Sneako winning. But let me know your thoughts. Put a 1 in the chat if you think Destiny actually, handled this perfectly. I'm gonna actually put a 2 on that one, because realistically, I think if you go after my kid, I'm gonna go after you, dog. I'm gonna go dirty. But that's not up to me. All right, there are better men in this world than me. I've already stated that multiple times. But put a 1 in the chat. All right, if Sneako went after your kid, right, and the way he went after Destiny, put a 1 in the chat if he handled that beef properly, or put a 2 in the chat that if you think that Destiny could have handled that beef a little bit better, right? I want to know what you guys think. I'm leaning more of a 2, but then again, I'm not everybody. I just think it's weird. But I did do a poll, all right? We're going to end the poll right now, all right? The poll was, is Sneako a real friend or is he a snake? Or fake as a snake, okay? 10% of you said that he was a real friend, and 90% of you believe he's a snake. I don't think Sneako is someone you want around you, bro. I really don't. He's not real. He's never been a real person. I don't think he has a real bone in his body. That just sounded funny to me. But I don't think he has a real bone in his body, all right? So I think overall audience chat, I think y'all the poll was pretty on point. But yeah, I just think it's odd. Like it really is that you would just go after someone's kid over a fucking tweet. Like it's like you want to claim that you're Islam and you talk about respecting people and women and all these different things, but look at the whole values you're doing here. You'd be quick to go after somebody else's child. That's crazy. But again, but one, if you think Destiny handled beef, well, if someone would go after your child, how according to how it would be handled, and put a 2 if you think maybe he could have done a little bit better. Maybe he could have went a little bit lower, right? And expose some shit, shut some bullies up, because I don't think these rep pillars will stop. You give them an inch, they take them out. But y'all let me know what you think in the chat. I appreciate y'all being here. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with the channel. Do not forget to hit the like button on your way out. I appreciate it. And I hope you didn't lose as many brain cells reacting to the Sneako shit as I did. I hope you save enough brain cells for the next episode. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one.